All right, I should be live. Let's see. Did it go live? Yes, it did. All right. All right, there we go. We are live everywhere right now. All right, y'all. Incredible morning. How are you guys doing? I have to clean up from this weekend's orders. I didn't want to do it myself. So I figured I would just go live and chit chat with y'all as I clean and mop this floor because it is a hot mess. Calm and a half. All right. So, incredible morning. How you guys doing on this beautiful, good old Monday morning? Start of a new work week, start of another opportunity to be incredible and amazing. So yeah, like I said, this is just going to be an open forum. You're free to ask questions, start discussions on pretty much anything. All right. Feel free to, post your comments, anything you want to discuss, because I just need to clean up. I'm giving myself an hour because it's really not that much. It's more so like cleaning up paper. I need to mop and it's a bunch of tape and stuff everywhere. I need to prep for some videos that I'm going to do and whatnot. So I'm giving myself an hour. So it is 10:17, no later than 11:30. I know it's an hour. That's really more than an hour. It's like an hour and 15 minutes. But no later than 11:30, I will be off of here. So get your questions in because, yeah, this one I'm actually going to clean and chat. I'm going to actually clean this time. But just want to hang out with y'all. So feel free to post your questions. All right. Make sure you guys are getting back home safely. Oh, wait a minute. Was it always Training Academy? Did you change the name? Or am I just not noticing it? Like it. I like it. Haven't been on for a while, still sick, so just listening. Oh, hope you feel better and you're recovering and recuperating. Hello, hello. Incredible morning, incredible morning, incredible morning. Hello, hello, hello. Buenos días. ¿Cómo estás? Incredible morning. All righty. Let's see. I need to get out of bed and clean my crash space so we can do it together. Good morning. What is that? Gail. Oh, that's Miss Gail. How you doing? Gail's Fashion Designs. How you doing? But yes, get on up, get on up and get your clean on. Let's see. It was always, I don't know why I guess I'm just used to seeing the Blink Spot. I don't remember seeing Training Academy. All right, so like I said, open forum. Feel free to drop your questions. All right. Let's see, we have one already. For tumblers, do you prefer? Okay, wait, let me read it, and then I'm gonna walk away. Do you prefer an oven or a press? I'm struggling with them, especially when ghosting. I've tried everything you can imagine. I just didn't know if press would help alleviate any of that, since you can put the timer back in and just do the top and bottoms for an extra 10 seconds each. I don't use it. I don't use a tumbler press at all. If this is okay, no, it's not. Everything that I do is with a oven. I don't use a tumbler press at all, so I don't have like a true comparison of them. I've done them in a mug press, basically as a hack because I don't have one. I personally just don't have a desire to get a tumbler press at this time. I can see how it may be beneficial. Maybe like on site for if I ever did like a on site setup or whatever. But when I first came across doing like tumblers and mugs and things like that, one of the first things I saw was major production, right? And when companies are doing major productions for them, they're not using a press. They had really big ovens. Like, I mean, they literally had what looks like the big restaurant style ovens, but they were convection ones, basically, because there's air circulating. And I saw them throw like a bunch of mugs and things in there. I saw them do like other drinkware. So I've all like my first introduction to doing drinkware was seeing it in an oven. That is how it was traditionally done. Tumbler presses are it's something that's new. So because like, well, I'll say by the time I really got into like drinkware as far as pressing them, because I've done them with vinyl and stuff. And of course, there was no oven or mug press needed for that. By the time I got into like wanting to do sublimation mugs, I was already kind of, into sublimation and having a business sublimation. So I went into it thinking about mass production. Doing one-offs, even if you can do it in like a few seconds, you still have to kind of like do it. You have to babysit. You have to close it. You have to turn it. If you get a 30-ounce one, it will get the ends really good. But if you get a 20-ounce one, you have to put the ends, press it, turn it, press it, flip it, press it, turn. I personally I don't have time for all that. So because I went into it wanting to do mass production, and the way that they are done as mass production is to prep them, put them in an oven, and let them all go at one time. So I've just always been partial to ovens. For some people, presses work great for them, but I am partial to ovens. And it's just in, taking your time to wrap them. When I did my sublimation seminar, one of the things that I encouraged them to do was to not try to do a full wrap tumbler. I feel like a lot of the times that's where people mess up at, is before you even get your technique down, get your taping down, you're trying to do like your very first tumbler out the gate is a full wrap tumbler versus just doing something kind of simple. So like doing ones like this, where it's like a front, a back, just so you can just kind of get used to it. And then what we did, one of the exercises that we did in the summation seminar is I had them practice doing seams. Okay. So this was like the first one, or this is the first one, this is the second one, whichever way it was. But you just kind of print it out. Is it using, some people consider it to be wasting paper. I don't, because I feel like it is something that is necessary to practice. So you purchase a set of tumblers, maybe get like at least 5. And they are for the purpose of doing practice on them. And we had them practice the seam. And I encourage them, keep going around it and practicing your seams. Practice taping the top so that you don't get the ghosting and stuff like that. So it's just going to take a lot of practice with it. One of the things that I found worked was using painter's tape to really seal that off and where air doesn't get in. So it's just like, you just got to keep working on your technique. Let's see. Keep my XP444 Salvation printer as a backup running or put it in storage. Always keep a backup. Always, always, always keep a backup. Oh, wait. Oh, screenshot 365 now. Oh, when I get to 365 likes. Or 365 on TikTok. What do you mean? 365 what? 365 what? Because I'm not at 365 likes. Oh, what? I mean, people came in? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, that is my take on tumblers versus ovens. Is there a big difference in buying a tumbler press for $15,000 versus one? I could not tell you. A lot of the ones that are up there are probably ones that are like all like 8-in-1s, all these different things. And if you're doing high volume, that is the worst thing you can do for yourself, is to get like these 8-in-1s, because one, you have to wait until, like, let's say you do need to like switch out. You got to wait for that sucker to cool down. Then you have to unscrew, like they're not quick changes. You got to unscrew stuff. You got to do all this, put it back on, do that. And so you would have to do that for each one. I've never understood the appeal of a multi one unless you were a hobbyist. And it's like, okay, well, I might use it this day, but if you're doing like a high production, get a dedicated like press for each thing, because trying to change them out, not going to be fun. But again, I'm not a press person. Now, when it comes to heat presses, paying higher for them it's a big part in that, because of how like the handles are made, how the handles are made, the heating element. You know, again, in my sublimation seminar, I go over things like this where I break down exactly why heat presses cost what they cost. What are the true benefits of it, and how their heating elements are for preventing cold spots, heated spots, even pressure, how the handles are made so it's not going to break on you in a year. So all of these things play a part in why certain things are priced the way they're priced. Like we talked about with some heat presses where the cords are exposed. So you end up getting shorts. You end up, your lines end up getting like shorts, or something will touch it, it'll melt, and it'll, catch on fire. Whereas other ones, they're more protected, like they have a good insulation on it. The Hotronix one, you don't even see any of the cords on it. Like it's all in that tube. So there's different benefits to each one, and that normally affects the price. But for just a tumbler press, it's either going to be, it's like a 8-in-1 versus just a single one. And it might be where it has a better heating element. I can't say. I've never seen one that was $1,500 though. Yes, even if you do 20 ounces, I recommend, if you're going to get a press, get a 30, because again, it's the ends. If you watch my video I did recently, I was doing a mug. Actually, I was doing the tumblers, and I was saying that the very ends of that mug press doesn't get as hot. So if you get a 30, it's actually leaving you extra space, which means like all of the actual heated part would be probably the length of the 20 ounce, and then you wouldn't have to like do a lot of pressing of the ends. So if you're going to get one, I would recommend a 30. You still have to keep flipping, but you don't have to do the ends. Incredible morning, everyone. Thank you guys. Hey, just say thank you guys for joining me today. I want to open up my own Etsy digital store. What program do you recommend to make digital files to use and upload to Etsy? Hello, I am the queen of silhouette. Hello, that's the only thing I teach. So I'm always going to recommend it, and I recommend you take my classes to learn how to do it. But no, seriously, you can literally open an Etsy shop from creating your files in Silhouette Studio. It is a vector-based program. Now, if you're wanting to create things that are more like PNG type things, if you're like taking other PNGs and kind of mixing in, making your own, and just adding text, you can still do it from there. It's not the greatest to me for saving PNGs. JPEG's a little bit different. PNGs, yeah. So if I'm ever making something and I want to save it as a PNG, I save it as a PDF first from Silhouette Studio. I open it up in Illustrator or Photoshop, and I save it as a PNG from there. So I don't really like saving PNGs from Silhouette Studio, like to sell, but SVGs, definitely Silhouette Studio. Let's see. Shirts matching your logo. Love. I just realized that. That is true. I just realized my shirt is our logo, is our brand colors. I didn't even realize that. I purchased a press for tumblers, and I and I buy an oven. I love the oven. So somebody says they have both and they love the oven over it. Do I do virtual classes? I sure do. 365 Creative Academy is pretty much online. I'm working to do the in-house stuff now, but for the most part, we are online. I'm still working on the new class lineup. So right now you'll get replays of all of our previous classes. That's what's on our website. I'm still working on the new classes. Oh yeah. I'm always trying to screen. I think I got it though. Oh, so you got a screenshot 366. Oh man. What brand is your light in the back? I use all Elgato products. So this is the camera is Elgato. The ring light is Elgato. I can control it from my phone. All of my stands are Elgato. My mic is Elgato. Elgato send me a check. I'm just playing. But yeah, all of mine are, I have the ring lights and I also have the key lights. I need to get the bigger key lights. I have the small ones. I need to get the long ones. So all of my lights are Elgato. Oh, wait. Does it show it? Nope, it doesn't show it. That's just the logo, but it's Elgato. Good morning. Just passing through, showing support. Gave you over 300 likes. Y'all tap the screen. Thank you, my love. Sister brought Cricut Maker. I have her account on my PC. Can my uploads work with her software? So no, your Silhouette Studio files, as in like .studio 3 files, will not work with the Cricut, but you can save them as SVGs and be able to open it up in Cricut Design Space. Silhouette designing question. What the heck is this? It's a small. There's a stain on this. I'll use this to make MJ some sort of shirt for basketball or for football. I'm trying to understand how to trace an image. I can't seem to remove the inside of my O's, A's, holes. I've watched the video and I'm still not understanding. Okay. I did see yours and you sent it. I'll do a video with your logo, but you do a trace. So take that one, maybe try and go step by step, like take it very slow when you're doing it. So the first one is a trace and detach. Then you're going to do a trace, increase your threshold. You're going to do a trace. You click on that trace, you fill it with color, you release compound path to release all the spaces, you hold down shift, click in between the A, the O's, the P's, the D's, the Q's. So you'll click in that or any other open areas. That's going to deselect them. You hit delete on your keyboard. What will be left are all like your original logo and all of those little pieces. You select all of that and subtract, and it'll take those out. Is there a reason you save them in Photoshop? Is the reason you save them in Photoshop? No, it's just that Silhouette doesn't do very well with saving as a PNG, especially if you have any transparent pixels. If you have any transparent areas, like if I take my transparency down, if I'm using like a fade bar or anything like that, Silhouette Studio makes those areas transparent when you save it as a PNG. Like it doesn't just do like the outside. It's just so weird, even if you have a solid background. So I pretty much do it that way because of that. And then sometimes it leaves like a gray edge around it. So it has nothing to do with the DPI. So if you're trying to do DTF, I did a video about that the other day. So go check out that video where I talked about DTF prints and saving them. Well, it was more of a rant. I'll do a regular video, but what I recommend, I still don't understand why those who do DTF transfers don't allow you to send a PDF file, but I'm not going to get into that. You know, I don't want to offend anyone. But for DTF transfers, you can do that. Save it as a PDF and then open it up in Photoshop to save it as a PNG file for, you know, just so that you give them the file format that they want. But no. they want it sized probably to the right size. So saving as a PDF will give you the exact size that you need. And then when you open it up in Photoshop, it's going to already have the correct pixels and all that stuff. And you save it and it'll be in the right size. Incredible morning, incredible morning, incredible morning. Oh. All right, let's see. Did I miss any questions over here? You're welcome. Oh, I like how you spell Pi Creations, but it's P-Y-E. What is quiet mode? Wait, okay, what is quiet mode versus high speed? Okay, so quiet mode it's not really quiet because when it first pulls your paper in, it sounds cuckoo crazy. But when it's on quiet mode, because it's trying to stay quiet, it prints out slower. Because if it's not on quiet mode, your print head carriage can move aggressively and it can seem very, very loud. When you put it on quiet mode, because it's attempting to be like, instead of it stomping around your house like kids, it's trying to like tiptoe. So it thinks that it's quiet, but sometimes it really still isn't quiet. But that's really the big difference. Quiet mode takes your printer from being to y'all like my demonstration? Hope that gave you like the best visual ever. So it really does slow down your printing because of that. So it is the true way to slow down your printing. High speed doesn't really, yes, you need that on. Whoa, Tanika, you have not watched my videos on print settings? I tell you, turn quiet mode on. But high speed, what it does is makes it where it's either omnidirectional or bidirectional. When high speed is on, it's printing this way and this way. So as it goes from right to left, it's dropping ink. When it goes from left to right, it's dropping ink, right? So it's supposed to technically get it done faster because ink is going down both directions. When you turn high speed off, it only affects it a little bit with small format printers. Even though it's a wide format, it's still a small space. Now, let's say if you had the big boys like a 36, 40, 60-inch printer where it has to go like all the way across, you want bidirectional because at least it'll drop ink as it comes back. But for smaller printers, I mean, it's just going like do-do, do-do, do-do. Really isn't that big of a deal. So when it's off, it only drops ink right to left. So it'll come back and then drop ink again right to left. 8.5-inch printers, 13-inch wide printers, it's not going to be a very big difference in the time because it's going to go back really fast. But when you have large printers and it's going, and you got to wait for it to come all the way back, it is not dropping ink. To go back to drop ink, that takes a long time. So the really big ones, it's good to have bi-directional. That way it's dropping inks as it goes on this long distance trip. But for desktop printers, it's not long distance. You're not going to see a difference in high speed being off or on. Uh-oh, hold on. Let me see. Let me check my settings and make sure that, oh, it is on the wrong camera. No one told me. I'm just now seeing that the sound is distorted. No one ever said anything. All that up there, no one said anything. I just saw the first one that says the sound is distorted. So I just changed it back to the right mic. She says, I did because I didn't know what it meant. Love the analogy. Love, don't be laughing at me. I know I probably got y'all cracking up in the car. um, Good morning. How could we empty our silhouette storage when it's full? Delete files. I mean, and to be honest, like that's really the only way. Uh, as far as the cloud, so your silhouette studio, like your library has two. It's two sets of storage, right? I'm going to tell you how to know where what is stored where. Your oh gosh, if you see an X, right? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no. If you see a lock does not affect your cloud storage. It is something that you purchased from the Silhouette Studio design store as a silhouette only file and not an SVG file because you can pay more to purchase the SVG version. So if you have a lock, it is something that you purchase from Silhouette Studios design store. And you cannot take any of those outside of Silhouette Studio in a vector format. Meaning, if you use those in a design and you try to save it as a PNG, PDF or an SVG, it is going to give you dotted lines and not the actual like template, not the actual file. If you have a check, that means that is something that you saved to the library and it's in your cloud storage. So you can be at your computer, log in, see those files. You can travel all the way to Miami, come to my lovely Dell, turn on Silhouette Studio, go to my library, add your account with your email, your password. All of your files will show up. So you don't have to be at your computer. You can come here, learn about Silhouette. You don't have to bring your laptop if you don't want because all of your files will already show up. You know? So that's what the cloud is. You only get 5 gigs. There's so many people with it. They don't want to upgrade their server. You only get 5 gigs of storage on the cloud. Now, you'll also notice some that have an X. That means those are stored to your library, but it's only on that computer. So if you go to another computer, even if you log into your account, you're not going to see those files. It is on that computer. So the only storage that you're really taking up is the cloud. You can still save to your library. You're just going to save it to the local and not the cloud, and it'll just be on that computer. So hopefully that kind of explains that. But there's no way to get more storage, and only way you can, if it's full, just gotta delete stuff. I don't save to Silhouette Studios library at all. Like for the most part, I don't really save there. I save things like certain templates that I use all the time, patterns, of course, when I'm doing a demo of some sort, my Samantha font glyph guide, things like that I save. But as far as like finished product projects, I always save those as Silhouette files. I never ever save them to my library. I was told to take the bidirectional off of my 15,000. It slows the drawing time down, which helps get a more vibrant image. It doesn't seem true to me since it's not. I just explained that part. Yeah. People will tell you that because they are just regurgitating what someone has told them. Most people, like now, I will say, even though they don't give the girl credit, now people tell you about quiet mode, but they were not before a year and a half, 2 years ago when I started educating them on that. I'll be honest, I never really paid it any attention because I was using paper where it didn't really matter. But especially when we got ours and I was doing like a lot of research, actually for about 2 years now. Duh, the paper's been out for 2 years. I talked about quiet mode and you have to turn it off. So now everybody tells everyone to use quiet mode, but they never know why, which is why people are asking about quiet mode, but people never can explain why you use quiet mode. But yeah, bidirectional does nothing, absolutely nothing for slowing down your prints to increase drying time so that you don't get pinwheels. And it actually does not improve your quality at all. The purpose of it as it relates to sublimation is to slow it down so that you don't get pinwheels. That's it. It does nothing for quality. What controls the quality is the print quality that you use. If you're using premium matte, that's going to print at the highest resolution. If you're using plain paper, it's low resolution, but if you use plain paper high, it's like a mid resolution. High speed has absolutely nothing to do with quality. Nothing to do with quality. I almost bust my behind on some. What is on my shoe? Because it's about to make me fall. Now, what did I do with the system? Here we are, here. Is there a huge difference in quality for DTG versus DTF? I need an alternative to sublimation for people who want the darker image shirts. I don't want vinyl or silk screen. So DTF and DTG, guess what? It's the same damn thing. Only difference is DTG is direct to the garment. So there's no adhesive underbase to it. But it's basically the same exact technology. I remember before that Big Boy was saying there were people who do DTG and they liked his DTF ink in their DTG printers that they had, like the refillable cartridges, and they liked that better than the ink that they were using. It's literally the exact same thing. We're getting a DTG printer and we can do DTF transfers with that. So instead of putting the shirt down, you put an anti-slip mat and it prints onto the film, and you take that film off, you put an adhesive powder on the back. It is the exact same process. It is actually the exact same adhesive powder for screen print transfers. Basically the exact same. It's the exact same process for screen printed transfers where they put that adhesive powder on the back, they cure it, and now you can press it. Same exact process. And so DTF, DTG, same thing, pretty much the same inks. One is just done right to it. So it does have a softer feel to it because it's right onto the shirt. When you do DTG, you have this adhesive backing that can affect how it feels. So they do feel slightly different because of that adhesive backing. It's not the white ink that makes it feel different, because on a dark shirt, a DTG printer is going to put down a white base anyway, and then it's going to print on top. What makes it different is that adhesion powder on the back. It's cured, and that allows you to then take that and press it to any garment and not have to put it like in your actual printer. Thank you for the information. What's the best starter sublimation printer? Give me 1 second. Advice to keep something not clogging print head, or just I've gone like with the 7210. I've literally gone 4 weeks without printing, and it just works. It's not like EcoTape printers. You really don't have to print on it every day. You do not have to print, especially if you're using cartridges and not. You had to print almost every day if you were using the continuous ink system, because without it printing, it will backflow. But with refillable cartridges, it's sitting right on top of the print head. It's not going to dry out unless like you go like 5 to 6 weeks without printing. I've gone 4 weeks, I've gone 6 weeks, and it still was fine. Maybe like one color, do one print head cleaning, and it's good. So long as you don't go 6 months without printing, you're good. You don't have to print every other day either. I don't print on my printers every day. There are days where there are weeks where I'll go and I don't print nothing on them. Well, now we're going back into being a print shop. It's a little bit different, but before, when I was just teaching, I wouldn't touch those things for a while. People have issues with EcoTank printers, not workforce printers. This is one of the reasons why I don't like EcoTank printers. Can you only cut an image using vinyl? What do you mean, can you only cut an image using vinyl? I'm not quite sure if I understand what your question is trying to ask. You can kind of reword that for me. Okay. You go on that side. Oh, yeah. You go up here. Saturday, I was asking about a new printer. 24. Yeah. So I just realized that Epson went, I don't know why they went backwards in numbers. So they were at like, it was the 27 series. I have a 2720. And then it went up to like 28, 2803, 2850. And for some reason, they have gone backwards in numbers, which is very unorthodox. I've never seen them do that. So I didn't think that it was like a new printer, but I've come to realize that they put out yet another stupid 8.5 by 14 small format printer, the 2400. Don't know why they went backwards in numbers, but it's literally no different at all than the 2720, 28. And I think it might be because of the color. I did realize that sometimes they were putting printers out because some people have preferences for black printers versus a white printer. And I think that they were doing numbers like that simply because of the color. So like the 2720 series, the 2803, 2800 were all, I think those were white printers. Or I know the 2720 and 2803 were white. And I think they end up doing it because some people like that aesthetic. So I think they end up doing different numbers just simply for the color, but the specs are all the same. All right. So that answers that one. But as far as the hex code, it is okay. Let's explain this part again. Let me grab this. Okay, so this is going to kind of answer two questions, and I'm going to give myself no more than, okay, what time is it? 11:52, because again, I'm getting off of here 11:30. I got to have this done. Printers, right? There is no best beginner's printer. There is none. There is no, I'm going to actually try and do this so that I can make this a snippet and post it by itself. All right. So here is me talking about this. My friend always says, she's like, Shakia, how many times are you going to talk about printers? As many times they ask. But I'm going to try and take this and make it like a dedicated snippet. There is no such thing as the best sublimation printer as far as it being a universal best printer. There is no such thing. It is what's best for your particular needs, your preferences, and your budget. Okay. You can get, if your budget is, okay, I'll say this. If your budget is small and you don't want to deal with cartridges, you're going to get a small format EcoTank printer, such as, like, there's a bunch of them. Y'all, I don't work for Epson. Okay. I don't work for Epson. They come out with too many numbers. I can't explain all that to y'all. Only thing I will say is, as of right now, November 14th, 2022, when this video is being shot live, wide format EcoTank printers are $15,000, $8,550, $16,600, $16,650. No, I will not be repeating them. You'll have to watch the playback. We're at about 39 minutes where I said that at. Those are the wide format printers. Okay. Anything that is not those four numbers is not wide format. I don't care if it costs $800. You're paying $800 for an 8.5-inch wide printer. Those are the only ones that are wide format. All the other ones will be 8.5 inches wide up to 47 inches long. Okay. Now you're going to see some that might seem appealing. You're going to think that you're getting the best printer because it's not $200. It's like $300, $400. Don't do it to yourself. Those you have to remember. Every time someone asks me about a printer and I like they say, well, hey, what printer can I use as a regular printer for DTV or stickers? And I see an Epson printer. First thing they say is, I don't want a sublimation printer. I know you asked for a regular printer. I told you a regular printer. Epson printers are regular printers first. It's like we're in this world to where everyone's using them as sublimation, to where people forget they are regular printers first. They're for small offices. They're for your home and stuff like that. So there are going to be features on them that you may not need. But Epson is going to charge you for every single feature on there. So the baseline, as of today, the ones I know that are out there, some are a bit older, but you can still find them fairly new. You have the 2720, 2700, 2800, 2803, and the 2400. Those are like your $199 printers. They might be $249 because Epson has taken their price up. So anywhere between $199, $249, that's, oh wait, no. The 2400 is actually $179 for Black Friday in a lot of places. I just saw that. Might have to go get my brother-in-law one. So the 2400 is actually $179, gearing up for Black Friday and all that stuff. But they're typically $199. They are the cheapest printer that you can get, but you also get cheap features. It doesn't have the best print quality. Like my workforce wide format printer is literally the best print quality outside of like the 8550. The 15,000 doesn't even have the same print qualities as a 7820, 7840, 7710. Like they don't. I did a whole video. I broke all this down. My videos are long, but my videos give you all the information. Like if you really want the information, take my classes, watch my videos, take notes, take a break if you have to, go take a PP break. But it's going to answer all your questions because y'all keep asking the same questions, thinking it's going to be a quick answer. And I'm never going to give you a quick answer because I'm going to give you all the information for you to make an educated decision on which printer to get. So the print quality is much different, right? Even though these printers have a premium presentation paper matte setting, even at its highest setting, the resolution can never touch a workforce printer. The speed of it, oh my Jesus, that baby prints slow as molasses, okay? She prints slow. So if you're looking for high production, it's not going to be the best printer for you because it's going to print slow. Even on plain paper setting, that sucker prints slow as molasses when you're printing color, okay? So if you're just starting out, it's a hobby. People always say, I want to start out as a business. If you're starting out as a business, I'm never going to tell you to go get a small format workforce. It's not even about the size. It's about the fact of the printing. You can't run a business where it takes you 10 minutes to print one print. That's I'm sorry. I got to stop what I got to watch what I say. I offend people when I say stuff, but that's silly. If you're trying to run a business and you have a printer that's going to take forever and you're trying to pump out production, it makes no sense. But if you are somebody, I just want to make a few things for me. I might not print that often. It's personal. I might sell it on the side, but I'm not trying to start a business. The 2720, 2800, all these small format EgoTank printers are not meant for business. I'm going to stand 10 toes down on that. It's not meant for business, okay? It's the cheapest, and you're going to get cheap. You're going to get lower quality, slower speeds. That's just what it is. When you go to the other ones, it's going to have features like duplex printing. In an office setting, if I got to print stuff front and back, I don't want to have to print it, take my papers, put them back in to print the other side. So a printer that has duplex printing is going to be beneficial to me. Therefore, I'm going to pay $50 extra for duplex printing. Does that matter for sublimation? Heck no. If I'm in a small office situation and I do a lot of faxing or a lot of copying, If you have a 2720, it has a scanner on it, but it's a flatbed. So for every paper that you need to scan, you would have to open it, put it down, scan it. Next one. Whereas those, like the 4700, print quality, print speed, everything is exactly the same as the 2400, 28, 27, exactly the same. Only difference is it has an automatic document feeder. Does that matter for sublimation? Hell no. Why are you going to pay an extra $100 for an automatic document feeder? Then you go up from that one. It has an automatic document feeder and it duplex prints. You're going to pay an extra $150, $125. The price is getting up there. The print quality is still the same. It's still going to print slow as molasses. Paying more does not mean that you're going to get better quality. You have to look at the specs. The part that most people don't want to do, everything that you want to know, Epson has put it on their website. You just read it. It tells you how many prints per minute for color, for black. What is the print resolution on it? What's the print size? All of this information is there that you guys keep going into groups to ask about. It is listed on their website, the people that make the printer. You just have to take the time to go through it. And actually, I think you can even go and select a couple printers and it'll even show you like a comparison. So yeah, that's that as far as like the small format ones. I am partial to workforce printers. One, the speed of printing, although the new ones, they be tripping on Wi-Fi. The resolution on them for both sublimation and regular prints, and then just the size of them and the cost of them. Workforce printers are going, a large format workforce printer will cost you the same amount as a small format EcoTank printer. I'm sorry, but 1 + 1 = 2. 2 + 1 = 3. I'm not paying more. Like, I don't like that math that, is backwards math. Like 2 + 1 = 1. Like, that's like subtracting. So I'm getting less for the same amount, sometimes even more, but you're getting less. A 15,000 gives you a lower resolution, a slower print speed. I don't have 2 trays, yet I'm paying $600. Huh? You're paying for the EcoTank. You're paying for the fact that you don't have to go and buy cartridges. So paying that initial price out of the box, you're paying for stuff that you will not use. Some people say, I get my money back because I sell the ink to people who are using it as a regular printer. If you're doing that, all right, cool. But you are technically paying for ink that you're never going to use because the printer itself is less efficient than a workforce printer. Point blank and the period, okay? I am partial to workforce printers. Someone asked me about a startup printer, and they said they want to do it for business, I'm going to recommend a workforce. The newer ones, do you have to buy chips for them? Yes. But you told me you're running a business. Factor the cost in. That's it. That's it. You just factor the cost of buying chips, buying ink, buying paper. It's no different in running business. So I never understand that particular argument that, oh my gosh, chips are expensive. This is expensive. Then you are not working your business correctly. If you're worried about the cost of chips, the cost of ink, the cost of a printer, then you're not running your business. You're not running your business to cover the cost of running a business, and buying chips and buying ink and buying papers. The cost is a part of running business. So that argument, I can't, I'm gonna step back on it. Like, if you're telling me, well, I hear you, but that costs too much, then don't talk to me about business. Then you basically want to talk about hobby. And you're looking for that because in business, I'm gonna build that into my price. So that's that about like printers. The other thing with it is, now we're going to get back. I did all that to get back to your question, right? Colors. Talked about it 1,000 times. Sublimation ink is made as third-party creators. All of our inks, hear me well, okay? Listen to it. I'm always say that Honestly Speaking is the best. Not because I formulate the ink, not because it's like the best, like you're never gonna find anything like this. That's shit, okay? I'm gonna tell you that Honestly Speaking is the best because it's my brand. I stand behind it. You don't get, if you can find one supplier of ink and paper that breaks this down for you like this, to where you're getting the actual education about these printers and about why your colors look the way that they do, I'll give you a $100 gift card to my website. I ain't give it to nowhere else. I'll help you out for Christmas. I will give you one person though, $100 Visa gift card. Show me somebody that breaks it down. So the reason why Honestly Speaking is the best, because I honestly give you like what I, through all of my research and testing, one of the best products out there. You're going to get support behind your purchase. Not just is it because I use it or whatever, because they took somebody class and they said, go sell this, go sell that, and they don't know poppy squat? How do you say it? They don't, poppycock. It's poppycock. Whatever. They don't know diddly squat. There you go. They don't know diddly squat. Our product, our brand, I stand behind it. You're not just buying a product, you are buying knowledge and information. Well, I ain't gonna say that. Let me take that back, because some of y'all might come back to me and throw my people in my face, because people read the blank spot. How y'all doing, D and Eric? See, they had learned from the professor, so they be knowing this kind of stuff. Don't come back and tell me the blank spot, because they will kind of tell you all this stuff, because Dee has been following for a long time. She took my sublimation boot camp like 2 years ago, so she knows this information. So I might give you a $100 gift card if you say the blank spot, because duh, they learned from me. So anywho, colors, right? Of all the colors to not have in here, I don't have a pigment ink yellow. Dang it. Oh no, I do. Okay. Boom. I've done this 30,000 times, right? This is what comes in EcoTank boxes. All EcoTank printers, except for the 16600, 16650, this is the ink that comes in the box. Y'all see the color, right? Looks like food coloring. Workforce printers and the 16600 uses this. Y'all see this, right? You see this. Sublimation ink is this. Which one does sublimation ink look like? Which one? Sublimation ink. I don't care who it is. We all get this ink from overseas. None of us know the exact formula for these inks. No, none of them. I actually do. I've researched it. I was going to try I really wanted to buy the machines to like formulate it here in the States. It's expensive, and it's like a big process, because you have to distill it, and then you have to go and you have to do this whole little spinning thing to like separate the particles. It's a big process. Then you have to go and buy your pigments, and then like no pigments are really made in, like, even for people from China, they don't get the pigments get from over there. They get like pigments and stuff, and they from the motherland. So then I would have to import pigments. Child, look at people in China. Low, go ahead and keep on making this for your girl. Don't go ahead and slap that label on it, okay? But none of us, not one of these brands, not even Hippo, ASUB, Printers Jack, Walk, who else? Oh, now, those companies are the ones that make these for us. They just put their own brand on it and they sell it on Amazon, but it's all the same. Theirs is cheaper because they don't live here. They just import it all directly to Amazon for them to do it through Prime. And they're okay with like dropping the price because they don't have any workers. They don't have any overhead. They ain't got to pay these high behind taxes, but they're all the same. Well, I know mine is not like Printer's Jack because their yellow is too bright, which is why you get those really, really orangey colors with a lot. I mean, but it's all the same. Same thing for the paper. We get it from overseas. Everybody does. It's just a different label. It's called white labeling. We all get it from over there. But in testing, I look for ones that gave me closer to accurate colors. Are you ever going to get 100% accurate colors? HE double hockey sticks? No. Do you know that even if you get an Epson printer, you may not get 100% accurate colors? Why? Because all eyes are different. I have astigmatism. How I see stuff, somebody else may not. Somebody who's colorblind may not see it that way. Somebody who's just damn near blind, not going to see it that way. Also, unless you're calibrating your printer monitors to the output of every single paper that you're using, because papers matter. Ink goes onto different papers different ways. Yeah, see, I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. I research all of this. I'm obsessed with learning all of this stuff. So this is why I try to give the information, but try and do it in a way where it's not like, what the hell? But it's a lot to this. So if you got a cheap monitor compared to a good monitor, and then you look at the color on your phone that has a lot of light, it's going to look different every single time. So your colors are never going to be accurate. But each printer has a firmware that mixes the colors in a certain way. The way a printer mixes these colors is not the same way. Like, hello, you're getting a true yellow from something that looks orange. But it comes out, if you do a print, if you do a nozzle check, it comes out a true yellow. But this is orange. How in the HE double hockey sticks, right? And then you do these. So it mixes a different way. If you have an EcoTank printer that's meant to use this, colors like teals, reds, navies, purples, greens, especially depending on, grays will come out brownish looking, especially depending on like what program you use to design. If you have one of those printers, your colors are never going to be anywhere near accurate for certain files, okay? You can get closer to that with a Workforce printer or an EcoTank 1600, 16650 because they use pigment inks. All that to finally get to this. This is why you have to print out color charts. You have to print out color charts, okay? What this does, this tells you for your eyes or even your customer, their eyes may not be as good as yours, but they're going to look at it and say, this is the color that I want. You might look at it and say, this is the color that I want. This same color on your monitor will look different. But this shows you exactly how your printer with the ink that you are using, with the summation paper that you are using, exactly how it prints out. Oh, because if you didn't know, summation papers do matter as far as colors because some of them have different coatings on them. So the summation paper you use does matter. So this is going to tell you exactly the color output. On each one of these is a code. Now on the tumbler, you really can't see it, which is why I normally have it printed out on bigger items, which I don't have one in here, or you can look at it on your computer. But you are going to go into whatever design program that you have. When you go to the color palette, doesn't matter which program you have. If it's Photoshop, you're going to double click. You're going to see a hash, the pound sign. That's your hex code. Silhouette Studio, you're going to click on the color. You're going to do the drop down. It says hex. Cricut Design Space, you're going to click on it. It's going to say hex or it might have the pound sign. That's universal. It's either going to say hex or it's going to have a pound sign. You're going to put that code. It can be all numbers. It can be a mixture of numbers and letters. It can be all letters. Like one of my ones for like a neon is CCFF00, I think, or CCFFCC, one of those. So you're going to put that 6-digit code there. It might look hella crazy on your computer, but that's okay because you are not going to be surprised when it prints out and it gives you the color that you want because you saw that color, you put that code in. That is the purpose of hex codes and color charts. I have an eco tank and print head cleanings won't fix the broken line. So over it. No, it will not. That's the other things about everyone tells you go get an eco tank printer. I've said 1,000 times, the maintenance once it's no longer working is ridiculous. A workforce printer, I'm going to push air. As long as your print head hasn't like died, for the most part, you're going to push air and it's going to go back to working. You can't do that with an eco tank. If you only have one printer, you're just kind of stuck because sometimes for eco tanks, you just simply have to let it sit for 12 to 24 hours in order for it to start working again. Very, very dumb. It's just dumb the way Epson had that set up. I brought one of the 2400s for $179 for regular ink. The 15,000 is so pretty though. Yeah, see some of y'all want stuff because it's pretty. I ain't got time for pretty. I got time for production. Where am I at? Do you print color charts on glossy paper or regular paper when not summation, whatever? I have my color charts printed on every single media that I use. I have it printed on my glossy paper. I have it printed on my matte paper. I have it printed on my Jet Pro 3G. I have it printed on from my Roland printer onto adhesive vinyl. I didn't do the HTV because I don't want to waste it because I really don't care about that one. I had my printer that I outsourced to print out my color chart on their printer. Everything that I print to, I had it at one point printed out on this specific sticker paper that I use, but I lost that one. But every media that I use, I have a color chart for. Every print setting. So if I do it and I want, like, so on my matte, on my glossy paper, I printed one out on photo glossy and I printed one out on premium presentation paper matte. That's how I knew which setting I wanted to use. So I literally have 1,001 color charts on some of everything. I have the one that's on tumblers for hard substrates that are glossy. I have it on felt. So that represents it being on polyester. And I'm actually going to sublimate one of these onto one of my matte tumblers because matte takes color differently than glossy. What time is it? Okay. When I cut on my Cameo Plus, why is that most of the time it cuts off of one side? I do print cut. People tell me it's an offset. Other lighting help. I don't have time. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to kind of go through that one. I've done that one 1,000,001 times. Like I've literally talked about that almost for a whole week. Was it last week, 2 weeks ago? It can be a number of things. It can be how you trace and attach. You might actually have extra white around it. It can be how you're loading your mat. Lighting has absolutely nothing to do with it. Do you have your design in your restrictive area? It's a lot of things that can affect it. I'm the same with you. I don't print all the time. I have a 7720. I might just run a test, then go at it. Always good normally. Exactly. How do you get rid of the pinwheels? I have an 8550. Watch my video on print settings. That's going to be the best thing. It's going to be basically your print settings, and it's probably the paper that you are using. Pinwheels come when the ink does not dry. So if you're using premium matte and you're using a paper that is a high release paper that has a coating on it, you're going to get pinwheels because it's not going to ever dry before it reaches the pinwheels. Don't be laughing. Let's see. Is there a big difference between screen print transfers versus DTF transfers? So that's kind of an interesting one. I'm going to explain something I just realized. I'm going to go back to that. Give me a second. Yes, definitely. I would use the paper from Amazon, but the difference didn't sit well with me. Can't do it. I have to use Honesty Speaking. Yes. The color chart is on our website, shop.hsink365.com is where you can find that color chart. It's even one set up for you already where you can put it right to a tumbler. So shop.hsink365.com. Hey, love, how are you? Is a laser printer good for anything? My brother gave me a big one. That's expensive, but I don't know what I should use it for. Of course, a laser printer is great for a whole bunch of stuff. All right, hold on. So, should we reset refill ink when printer is halfway or before? Which one are you talking about? A Workforce or a EcoTank printer? Okay, so I was about to answer something. Oh, DTF, right? Hold on. Let me get back to work real quick here because I got to get this done. I got work to do. This don't belong in here. This belongs out there. That is our, what's the name, tape. Okay, these can stay here for now. Oh, there's the Windex. I was wondering where that went. Okay, so I recently just realized that certain companies call them screen printed transfers, but they really are not true screen printed transfers. Oh, this is for my brother. Okay, that's his stuff. So places like TKO, and I just realized Supercolor was the same way. I saw someone on TikTok and they were saying, was it TikTok or was it a Facebook group? One of those. And they were saying that they use, like they were selling screen print transfers. But the ones that they were showing, I'm like, that is not a screen print transfer. Who told you that? You know, coming to America, who told you that? That's kind of how I felt looking at the screen print transfers, because it is a full-on digital print. Like looking at something like this, where there is like watercolors, like it's, you know, it fades off, it's watercolors. It's really hard to recreate something like this in a screen print format. Where it's kind of smooth like this, unless you're using like a really, 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 really high, super high mesh count. It's a whole nother ball game when you come to screen printing. Screen printing, people say it's like the easiest way, but there are a lot of variables to it. How you burn it, the type of emulsion that you use, the type of screen that you use. If you're using a really high mesh, that's for fine details. You can use a lower mesh. That's for just kind of like your general printing. You have to have like at least 1 point of like your line and stuff. If not, it's going to like blend in because the holes are bigger. So the higher the number, the finer the mesh, the smaller details you can get because the holes are going to be closer together, kind of like DPI, right? So that's what your DPI is. Screen printing is the same way. So when I'm seeing it, I'm like, there's no way that that's screen print, like that's screen print, because you're not going to get that type of print. So I thought they were telling a fib. I honestly thought they were telling a fib. I'm like, there's no way in hell. Why are they bamboozling people? And then Erastus I've watched TKO behind the scenes a couple of times, but I don't think I ever grasped the fact that they ain't got no damn screen prints. They ain't got no screen printers in there. I've seen so some of them I think they do, because I've seen the screens and stuff. So they do so, but they have a hybrid. I think they have 2 different rooms. And I think the last time I saw Katrina and Erastus from Garment Creations go to TKO, I think they were probably in like the traditional screen printing, but they have a hybrid system. And they'll, like, I think his last one says this is why it's not DTF, right? So with DTF, it prints the image as well as the white ink on the back. White ink, though, is the one thing that clogs up the most in DTF printers, as well as DTG. People with DTG printers will tell you sometimes white ink gets on their nerves because it can clog up. Like if you have a DTG printer, you literally have to wake up when you come in for the day. You have to take that out and you have to shake it. Same thing with my EcoSolve. If you have white, or like with my metallics, I have to come in and I have to take it out and I have to shake it every single, like I do mine like once a week, but you're supposed to do like, they'll tell you every day. It'll tell you like a little warning. And you have to shake that to keep it from settling. It can clog up, right? So with DTF, they're printing the white ink the same way they print, and then the white ink goes down. They put the adhesion powder on it. Well, there are certain screen print transfers that are not true screen print. the ink on there is not Plastisol ink. They're actually digitally printing it. They created a screen that is the same outlines and all the details of that design. They put it on top of the print and they squeegee white Plastisol ink on the back. Or they might even use, some people might even use water-based ink. But instead of having a system that's going to constantly clog, they will put white screen print ink on the back, put the adhesion powder on it, and cure that. So technically, they are the exact same thing. It's just one is screen print ink on the back. The other is DTF, DTG ink on the back. That's it. Then you have companies that do traditional screen print transfers where every part of it is actually screen printed. They're going to go, and if it's a single color, they're going to use a single color, like they're going to burn the image, they're going to put it on there, and they're going to print that out, put the adhesion powder on it, cure it. Like they're going to go through this whole process of screen printing it, putting the powder on it, and curing it. If it's multiple colors, they're going to use 2 screens. If it is a full color, they will use at a minimum 5 screens and maybe a highlight white, depending on how it is. So they would have to put down, if it's for darks, a white underlayer, a white underbase, and then they're going to go in order: yellow, magenta, cyan, black, and then a highlight white to make it pop if there are white areas in it. So it'll be anywhere from 5 to 6 screens for one print job. So that can get kind of pricey because they charge you for every single screen, which is why a lot of these companies came out with this way to where we can do the first part as a digital print right onto the film, and then we're just going to screen print just white onto the back, because the traditional way is 5 to 6 screens, and you have to separate those in Photoshop. You have to burn those into a screen. Like you have to, coat your screen. You got to let it dry. Then you have to burn it into the screen. Then you have to wash out the screen, like push out where it burned into it. Then you have to register each one. So if you have 6 colors, you got to do this whole thing. You have your registration marks on there, making sure that your thing is all squared up. And you got to register 6 screens and a bunch of test prints before you get to the job. So it's an extensive process, which is why it costs so much money. So they came up with an easier way, but it does, so they don't feel the same. They can get to a point where they don't quite feel the same for screen print transfers and DTF. So the one thing with DTF, because it is printed, so someone asks about lasers. When you do anything with inkjet, it's not toner, it's ink. So it is less likely to break apart because of how it's put down. So they're using a inkjet process, and that's going to make it where it's going to last long. Whereas with traditional screen printing, if they put too much ink down, if they don't cure it properly, because it's simply screen print ink, it can crack if you pull it. DTF, digital DTF, or screen print DTF won't do that. So it's a lot. It's not a one size fit all, guys. I know, like, this is probably information overload, and it's like, dude, how in the hell do you keep all that? I eat, sleep, and breathe this. Like, I literally eat, sleep, and breathe it. It is something that you will have to take in bite-sized pieces. You're going to have to take the time to learn and understand about these different things. Not learn it because you just went on and purchased it, and now you're like, okay, what the hell do I do? In the midst of you doing your regular business stuff, take the time to listen to some of my extra long ass videos, take notes, compare and contrast to figure out what's going to be best for you. It is not something that people will go and they will give you surface level, which is why y'all still asking questions. Duh, because they're going to give you surface level. I have no problem breaking it down for you because I actually can. Some people they're going to give you surface level because they can't break it all down for you. But it is a lot to this. you start to understand it. When you understand other print methods, it starts to make all these other ones make sense. I was fortunate. I learned screen printing when I was 17 years old. 11th grade, Barbara Goldman Senior High School. Because I refused to cut up a pig, I went into graphic design, into the graphic designing class. And we had a screen print there. I learned how to develop pictures in a dark room. So I understand about, so when people talk to me about pictures and printing and photos, I'm like, dude, if you haven't developed photos in a dark room, don't talk to me, okay? Because like the struggle be real with folks coming in the room and turn the light on when you're in a room with a red light and then somebody come in there and your whole exposure messes up. And you trying to avoid going to CSI because you don't want to cuss somebody out, because now you have to technically do this all over again because they exposed light before your picture was ready in your dark room. Until you know that struggle, oh Jesus. So like these are all things that I learned in school, and I learned it over the course. School is 9 months long, so I've learned this like in that class every day for an hour or 45 minutes, however long, for 9 months, to where I got my foundation and I just built on that. But there's so many different like things. So let's say like laser, right? Laser is great because you have an imaging drum and it's going to print out a lot faster. But for certain details, you simply will not get them with a laser printer because of the way that the inks combine together. With a laser or even offset, the way that it prints colors, solid colors are best for laser and offset printing because of how they put colors down. It's not ink droplets that could make them smooth. So it prints out faster. Brochures, business cards, things. A lot of stuff is done with laser printers. Like it's going to print it out much faster because it's toner. It has a natural gloss to it. So you don't have to use glossy paper. You can print on regular paper and still have like a sheen to it because toner is glossy. A white toner printer is nothing more than a laser printer with white ink in it. That's it. Instead of the black, you have white. And so it makes it, and then the rest of it, if it doesn't have a dedicated black, it's a composite print. That's all it is. So there are like things like you can do foiling. When I did my wedding invitations, I printed them on I did the first part of it with a regular print. And then I printed, I did a regular cut, but I've done invitations where I do like, I put it through an inkjet printer. Then I put it through my laser printer, only the parts that I want foiled. So that way the back is nice and like nice watercolors and then the foiling part. So I put it through my laser printer. I'll put the foil on top, put it through a laminator. Boom. I have a very high-end luxury invitation or menu card or whatever because I'm able to add foiling to it. So it's great for foiling. Like I said, prints out very fast. I used to use it for menus and things like that. So it's a higher production, but colors are different. Very, 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 very different from a laser printer to an inkjet printer. So yeah. You are very welcome. And you reminded me, I got to order shirts. So I thank you, my dear, because I got to order some shirts. Baby, I'm low. I was like, I'm not used. Ooh, child. Hold on, y'all. I just got. Oh, baby. Amazon to lay off 10,000 employees as Bezos vows to give away. Oh, this got to be fake. Who in the hell is independent? He ain't finna give away no $1.24 billion fortune. Child, boo. Something came across. I'm sorry, y'all. Something came across my phone. Let me go over here and check the Googles of the Googles. Talking about something he giving away his fortune. Amazon, that independent. That must be satire news. Amazon lay off. Oh, damn. No, this on CNBC. This on the New York Times. Oh, damn. Amazon reportedly plans to lay off about 10,000 employees starting this week. But look, bro, before you give it away, let me get a little bit. Like, I mean, 124 billion. I don't even need that much. Like, yo, Jeff, why you ain't call your girl before you wait a Okay, he just laying people off. That other one about giving away his money wasn't true, I don't think. Because over here, they're just talking about their shares are down 2.5% on Monday. Oh my God. Yeah, he ain't giving them no money. I can tell you that. He ain't giving them no money. That's just crazy. Oh, wow. Child, Twitter laid people off because Elon Musk is just crazy, okay? Him just crazy. Oh, but they finna let, look, this is why the prime ain't priming. This is why the prime not priming, y'all. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I just saw that little news thing and it just kind of threw me off. I right, you know, Ryan, let me, if he finna give it away, let me hold some, Jeff. Let's see. Me about to ask my manager in a few minutes. No, thank you. Good morning, Shawnee D. All of my videos are recorded, so you can definitely go back and watch the playback and leave a comment and let me know that you're watching the playback of it. So put hashtag playback or hashtag replay. Is the color chart on your website good for? So it's not anything that like it's just a file. So like you hear me say everything. I have printers that have dye inks in them, that have pigment inks in them, that have sublimation ink in it, eco solvent printers. It's just a file. So however you use it, whatever printer you print it out from, it's going to show you the true colors of that printer. So it's not for a specific printer. It's not for a specific ink. You print it out with whatever ink, whatever paper, on whatever printer. If you have 10 printers, you're going to print that color chart out on all those. If you got a laser printer, a white toner printer, a DTF printer, a DTG printer, a sublimation printer, a pigment ink printer, a dye base printer, only thing that you can't print out on is a thermal printer because, hey, that just prints out all black. But any printer that you have, you can use this. Okay? Exactly. Why would they do layoffs around Christmas time? That makes absolutely no sense. But yeah, you're going to print this out on anything. Now, see, mine has this here, but this is an indicator for me. This lets me know exactly which printer I printed this out from because the colors will vary. I don't need to put what paper I use because I ain't using nothing but Honestly Speaking paper. All right, so I'm not quite. I did one side of the room. I stopped and came and talked to y'all, and I'm not where I'm supposed to be after this. All right, let me get this done because I cannot live like this. I can't work like this. I can't live like this. This is Color Print Easy. So this also goes to the roll-in printer that goes out of here. I think I had it in here only because I was trying to show somebody. No, this don't go in here. This goes on here. I know I went. I don't think the layoffs I think is real news, but that independent one said he's giving away his fortune. That can't be right. That can't be right. That's hey, look, me too. I'm like, how? Because I be buying stuff all the time. So would I have to reprint the color chart when I change to your ink from? Yes, you would. Yes, you would. What version of Silhouette are you using? I use 4.3.370. If somebody can write it in the comments, 4.3.370. But I changed over to your ink. Do I have to completely empty out? Okay, so I'm not sure. Can anybody else not see me on TikTok? Oh, can't see me. Oh, hold on. Probably because I went out and came back. Oh, wait, no, cancel. I don't know what to do. Let's see. You can't still can't see me. I know. I mean, when I went out, because remember, if I go outside of this, it will freeze or it'll say be back real soon because it popped up about the Amazon thing. So I went to that on my phone. So you guys went out, but I should be back now. Yeah, I don't ever use, so I did a video. I always come back to my video. So I did a video where I went and I tried out the 4.5 And I don't think I made another video. I think I just made a post. That's why I got to follow me everywhere. So I made a post saying, yeah, this don't work for me. I'm going back to 4.3. Okay, so changing your ink. Changing your inks to any brand of ink, not just our ink. All of the inks are a little bit different. Like I said, it's pigments. Hell, remember I told y'all, I don't control this ink. At some point, let's say where my vendor got their pigments to color the ink. Let's say if where they got theirs from was sold out. They got to still make ink. They may order it from a different vendor. So their colors may end up varying a little bit. They can dial in, they can do all this stuff. So every time, pigments can be slightly different. They can be slightly different. So even ordering from Honestly Speaking, even ordering from Epson, the inks can vary because of the pigments. If somebody was putting in pigment, and let's say they were manually doing it and they sneeze, achoo, a little extra pigment might fall in. So the color might be a little bit off, you know? It's really a crapshoot, you know? I will say that all of the printer jacks that I've seen, it's like their yellow sublimation ink looks bright like pigment ink. When I tried it, so one of the things that I tested was the Bahamian flag because it has a very distinctive color for it. And so it will come out more like a yellow gold instead of a true gold, almost like orangey with certain inks. And because you mentioned that, I don't like to mention brands, but I've tried out a bunch. When I did my ink, I did 8 different inks. 6 different inks, 8 different papers I tested out. Some from overseas. Some of them I realized through my research that not every company that you order ink from overseas is actually making them. Some of them simply bottle the ink and that's it. They will order drums of ink from the main factories. And because the main factories cannot handle a lot of that load, it's easier to just make ink versus making ink and having that machinery and also having machinery to bottle and also machinery to label. So there are some factories that only make ink to distribute to smaller distributors who in their facilities, they don't have the ones to make the ink. They're going to take that drum, they're going to pour it in or have a system where it just sucks it out and it's going to bottle the ink. And then it's going to go through a sealer. Then they're going to label it, right? So I ended up realizing that some of them were literally the exact same ink, even though on Alibaba, I ordered them from different companies. I tested out some of the well-known brands at that time. When I got my ink, A-Sub did not have ink. A-Sub was strictly paper. Now A-Sub has ink. So I tested out a bunch of different ones. And some, you can see the difference in the color. We end up doing our signature formula and a Formula B because we noticed the difference when they sent us that ink. I did a whole video where I compared the two. I put both cartridges in. So I did one that was signature, one that was all Formula B, and one that was mixed. You can barely tell the difference. It's literally a slight difference. If you're going to mix inks, I recommend that you do not do that in the middle of a print job. So when I had to print out 50 of one towel, I would not dare switch inks in the middle of that print. I would make sure that I've either mixed them beforehand so that all of the colors match. Because once you mix inks, until it kind of settles, you're going to see a difference. Because in your print head, especially if you have an eco tank, in your lines and in your print head is going to still be a lot of that old ink. And even though it's mixed in the tank, the line still has ink in it. So it will print out and then all of a sudden you will see your color change. You kind of got to let it settle and kind of really mix in. So once, I recommend getting it down as low as possible and then mixing it in, doing a couple of purge files. This is where your purge files come in at. You're purging out all of the old ink so that now you have that one that's truly mixed. But you can mix inks because, I mean, you technically, even if you were buying a different brand, at any given point, from batch to batch, you are mixing inks. Right? I was like, let me go. I had to go check the real news. It is a pigment ink printer. A 7720 pigment ink comes in the printer. This cartridge from a 77. Oh, Jesus, I'm ashy. It's from when I washed my hands this morning. Hey, there's my lip gloss. How I got way over here, I don't know. So this ink that comes with the 7710, 7720, all of those, that says DuraBrite Ultra. This is pigment ink. So if you were using this ink already, you are already using pigment ink. Purchasing pigment ink is a more cost-effective way to print. You're either going to buy the Epson cartridges. An XL cartridge will cost you about $30, or you can just buy refills for it, and it's going to be a lower cost. But this is pigment ink in the workforce printers. And of course, I use a 7720. That's, if you watch any of my videos, you see me do party favors, I'm using a 7720. That is my printer of choice. So stickers, labels, banners. When I've gone through and I've shown you guys all the different things I'm doing, I did that with the 7720. With like some of my earlier stuff, I was only using Epson cartridges, and I eventually found out about Cobra, which they have since sold their business to Heat Transfer Warehouse. So basically, Walla Ink just took over customers for Cobra Ink. So I originally had Cobra, then I got another brand, and now we have our brand. But for maybe 4 or 5 years now, I've been using third-party pigment inks. But before, I was buying Epson cartridges all the time. But it's the same. Hello, Angel. How art thou? Okay, so I'm glad you're on. Hopefully you're still on. So earlier, someone was asking, because I know you are someone that when I first started watching you, you had an oven and now you use a press. Do you use, I forget, because I think you press your ends. So you have a 20-ounce press, right? Not a 30-ounce. So with the 20, you have to press your ends. So that's the first question. And then do you find, like, because I remember when I first started watching you, like, you would go and like, on, like, let's say like a Saturday, you would start a live and you would do like your orders and stuff like that. And you had like a bunch of orders, right? So even though, but you can do a 30 as well. Which, I know you can do the 30. Wait, which one do you have? You have the 30-ounce attachment or the 20-ounce attachment? But I remember, like, when you first started and you would have like a bunch of orders and stuff and you would do the oven. Well, I was always saying, like, why shouldn't I do a couple of them? And I'm not sure, maybe you did put like 2 of them in an oven and doing both of them at the same time. Now that you have the press, I know there's one lady, she has a bunch of presses. So for her, it's a little bit more efficient because she can wrap them and then she'll put like 2 in a press at a time. But now that you're using more, so like, it seems like in your videos, you're exclusively using the tumbler press. Which one do you prefer more? Or do you feel like if you were doing a lot of them, would putting multiples in an oven make your job faster? So it works for 20, 30, and 35. Well, some of them have, so that means you must have the wider attachment, because some attachments are just a 20-ounce where it only fits it. Yes, you can use it, but you have to move it. There are others where it's a 30 or 35-ounce attachment where it's longer. Yes, so it will be more cost effective, but it's the same. So I mean, your colors, of course, it doesn't match it like 100%. So you might see a slight difference because Epson ink is formulated for their printers. But I've never had an issue. It's been so long since I've used Epson ink to where I don't notice the difference. You might notice it because you're freshly off of using Epson cartridges. So you might look at it and feel like, okay, dang it, these colors are a little bit different, and you may notice it more. But I've been using so long that, I mean, when I print, I don't really notice a big difference in the color, but it is definitely going to be more cost effective. The disbursement of heat isn't the same when there's more than one tumbler in the oven to me anyway. Oh, well, I've done up to 3, and I mean, I can't do it at the same like time frame. I just add a couple of minutes, but I don't have to babysit them. I don't turn, well, see, for me, I don't turn my tumblers. So for you, you're saying the tumbler for you is better because, I mean, you're someone that was doing a lot of tumblers in an oven. Like I used to sit there and watch your really long live videos, just sit there and watch you make tumblers on a Saturday or a Sunday. So I know, like, you came to mind when people were asking about like the differences between the oven and the tumblers, because I know now I just see the tumbler press, which I think is also like a little bit different too, because people would actually see the tumbler press. I think when it came to the oven, you'd always have to tell people. I think yours was the Gourmet one. It's you and somebody else. I know. I think I'm not sure if yours the Oster one or the Gourmet one. And it's like people would ask, but it's like off to the side, so you have to like turn your camera. Now, a lot of people who do the tumblers, they can have the tumbler press like right there in the frame. Yeah, so she says she loves the press. I'm one where I'm just like, I cannot say one or the other. I personally just don't like the idea of babysitting them. I feel like I have to babysit when stuff is in a tumbler. I mean, in any type of press, because you do have to, no matter what, you still have to kind of turn it a little bit. And I like to just kind of go. For me, for tumblers, I can put 1 or I can put 3 in an oven. I don't rotate. I put those suckers in there. I increase it by like 30 seconds to a minute, depending on like how many tumblers are in there. And I just leave them, take them out, they're done. So I rather not babysit. That's why I said everything is a personal preference. I have a tumbler press. I like it, but it smells really bad. Yeah, see, I don't have an issue with the thing. You press for 3 minutes versus 5 minutes. And 3 minutes is still a long time. So I don't know. 3 minutes, but you also have to rotate it and you have to press the end. So to me, it just seems more hands-on versus the oven. So she's saying that the smell may only be because it's a new tumbler. I mean, new press, I mean. I think these are the ones that were messed up. I don't need these. Oh, yeah, it's new. So it may burn off after a while. But yeah, I'm just not how I learned about them, and then just thinking about production-wise and the fact that I don't want, like if I'm doing something, a big order, I don't want to babysit. I don't want to have to do a lot of manual work for certain big orders. I'd rather take the time to wrap them all and put them in an oven. So it's just how I originally learned. As I said, it's always personal preference. Yeah, so she says, I do wrap while pressing as well because I only need 3 pieces of tape. And see, that's another thing, right? I've seen you do that because some people say they still have ghosting and they feel like they're using a lot of tape. Like they still put a lot of tape on it because it's still ghost. And again, I thought about you because I'm like, yeah, she doesn't use a lot of tape. So I've seen some people, they still tape the whole seam. Like even people who are very, very popular on TikTok, they will go and they will do a bunch of tape. Some people only do like in the middle, at the top and bottom, and then they're good to go. Some people do that because they're still going to kind of wrap it. Because I've seen if you use a paper that bleeds, you still have to put some sort of parchment paper or butcher paper inside, because if not, that ink is going to get onto your heating element. And if you ever put anything in there that's not fully wrapped, it can get on it. So I've seen some people put a small amount of tape because they still put like a covering over it. And then there's some where they use a paper that doesn't bleed. They just put it in there. Some use 3 pieces of tape, have perfect seams the majority of the time. Others use 3 pieces of tape and their seam always looks crazy. There's some that use a bunch of tape. Theirs looks good. So it's like sometimes it's like the tape that you use, it's how you pull it. It really is a lot of factors. And that's why I say you have to take a couple of tumblers and make them sacrificial lambs. And they're just going to be the ones where you're going to practice your technique, write down notes as far as like, okay, sometimes it's also pressure. Like I showed that once before too. If you have too much pressure as you're closing it, you're bunching your paper up, which can expose that seam. So it's a lot of different things when it comes to doing the tumblers. I have a press and I don't like it trying to sell it. Love my oven. Yeah, see, it's just personal. I love my oven, man. Do you have a YouTube showing how you use the oven? Because, all right, I'm about to say something. Hold on. And there's going to be a whole bunch of people that's about to come for me, but I know the science behind it. So I show my technique for wrapping. There's nothing special for me for putting it in the oven. If my wrap was in there, I stand it up. If my kids cooked and it's a bunch of cheese and stuff at the bottom, I'm not going to stand it up until I clean it out. I use the oven that is in my kitchen. Yes, I use the oven that is in my kitchen. We have like a little toaster oven. It's a convection oven. It's the Oster one. There's nothing harmful about sublimation gases. So yes, I use the one that's in my kitchen. So since it's that, and I don't like normally when I'm doing videos, I have stationary cameras. Like there's one here, there's one there, there's one over there. So because I have stationary cameras, I can't take them on a field trip with me to my kitchen. So I never show in the actual oven. I just kind of explain what I do when I go drop it in there. I will be able to show it soon because here, the oven, I was kind of excited at first. I thought the big oven that was here was a convection oven, but it's not. It's a regular oven because I'm like, we're revving up to do mass production of things. So I'm like, shoot, if I can put it in my big oven, yes, God, because I can do more. Like if I have to do a whole team, I can put all of them in there and I can sublimate them. But the one that's here is not a convection oven, which means there's no air circulating. That means I would have to go in there and turn them individually, and anybody got time for that. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and just buy an oven for in here. I just haven't gone to buy it because I know they're going to be on sale for Black Friday. So your girl waiting to go get an oven for in here. Since we're now in the office, we now come to the office and do work. So I'm going to get an oven for in here. So eventually you will be able to see me like put it in an oven. But for now, I just take them with me. So like this weekend, I wanted to do an oven, a tumbler for us for the Dolphin game. Here, there is no oven. So I printed everything out. I even thought, okay, yep, I don't have anything at the house. Let me take my heat tape. Let me take a roll of painter's tape. I took that and didn't realize how important my tape dispenser was. So I kind of had to do this whole little makeshift thing with tape, which I'm going to show you guys how to do at some point today. I won't be able to sublimate it because, again, I don't have an oven here. But I'm going to show you guys the wrapping technique and how that roll of tape, man, if you have a hard time gripping, it's going to come in handy. So I'm going to share that video with you guys later. But yeah, I'm going to show you how I wrap, but I can't show you in the oven because I don't have an oven here. So they have to be sure they are scraping all the air out and do a white overlap. Yeah, I mean, of course, I teach that method, and some of them still say they have gaps. I tried the 3 pieces of tape when using the press, got ghosting on the end, so I taped the ends. The print must be firmly pressed on the tumbler because then the rest of it's gone. Can you use Jet Pro 3G on a laser printer? No, there is a transfer made for darks that is for laser printers, but Jet Pro 3G is not it. It is made for inkjet inks. I use a press, Honestly Speaking paper, Honestly Speaking ink, 365, 90 seconds, 3 pieces of tape. Boom. Incredible morning. Hey, be on the lookout. I'm going to send you the invoice. Your printer is actually going out today. What do you mean by white overlap? Do I have a tumbler print here? I don't. Let me print one out for you. Hold on. Actually, I'll just flip you around. I'm not going to print it out. So let me file, open recent. Boom. All right, I'm going to flip you guys around. I got to move you out of the way. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. I gotta let's see, is my microphone in the way? Okay, no, it's not. All right, cool beans. Let's move this over here and present, share screen. Okay, so when you measure your tumbler is really only, I'm going to make this like this. It is probably like 9.2 by like 8, somewhere in there, right? I'm going to make this yellow. Oops, wait, I'm not sharing screen. Hold on. There we go. So I'm going to bring this to the front. This is truly about the size of your tumbler, edge to edge. But of course, you don't want, so to avoid getting the white part, so a true white gap, not the ghosting, to avoid getting a true white gap, you need to have some extra print. So if we put this to the end on your tumbler, this, once you wrap it, will overlap this part, this little piece right here will overlap this side, okay? So there's going to be no separation of the two sides, and you're not going to get like a straight white line. This is why you do a bleed, okay? Now, when you are cutting this out, you do not cut right to the edge. Do not cut to the edge. Once you cut this out, how you're going to cut it out, you're going to cut, like, you don't even have to really cut the top of it exact, because you're going to probably trim it on your tumbler anyway. I cut one side and usually the bottom, because I try to line the bottom up, and then I can always like fold over or cut the top. Oh, wait, let me move my banner out of the way. But when you cut it, which I'm going to take the line color, the fill color off of this, when you cut your paper down, you want to cut your paper where you still have some white. The side that's going to overlap. Remember, this part is going to overlap on the top, like on the back of the paper, because this is going to be, we got to move y'all back some. Okay. This side right here is going to be right on the tumbler. This is the part that you're going to wrap on top. So this part right here is the ink overlap to avoid the white line. If you cut it right at, you're leaving a little bit too much room for error and for ink, for air to get in. If you leave some white, this white part is going to be like, by the time you get done, it's probably going to come to like about here on the tumbler. Well, the air would end up being like right here and not right at the seam, because you're kind of like closing off that air pocket. And it gives you, you can grip it better and you can wrap it better. So it will eliminate a lot of that air. Hopefully that makes sense. I know. Look, I was, and then they were like, Shakia, don't be crazy. Because I mean, I remember I do use it a lot. Like I use it a lot for pigment ink as well, and you can't get it anyway. And I was outvoted between my mom and my husband. I was outvoted because I was gonna still send it, and so I got vetoed. I need to order some chips so they can be shipped together. I'm order them now. Okay. Let's see. My silhouette is actually no. Don't order them. I'll send you the invoice. Email me and tell me whatever it is that you're going to order, and I'll send you the invoice. That way it all can come in as one. Because if not, I'll still have to send you an invoice for the shipping for the printer. My silhouette is on 4.4, and when using print and cut, every 3 or 4 runs it starts tripping, and that has nothing to do with the program. That's just your machine. But the program itself has absolutely nothing to do with how it cuts. Like they literally are two separate things, other than coming on here to control the cut settings. It might just be the way that it's loaded. Your cut settings. It can be a couple of different things, but it's not going to. It doesn't matter. Any of our email addresses. I mean, I'm the one that gets them all. Admin at hsink365.com, the professor at hsink365.com, orders at 365 hsink365.com, or info at hsink365.com. So any of them will work. I'm the one that reads them all. All right. Let's push y'all back. Move my microphone. Oh, I have 2 Windexes in here. Does sublimation paper feed through tray 2, but just different? Well, I use the same exact settings. I use the same. So if you are somebody that uses premium matte, you cannot use premium matte from tray 2. I don't use premium matte. I use plain paper setting. So I can print mine from either tray, and I'll normally store different sizes in each tray. But if you use premium matte, if you're someone that still uses that, then yes, you cannot print them on the same settings. Tray 2 does not print premium matte. Only tray 1 and the rear feed prints premium matte, glossy, premium presentation paper matte, like any of those special settings. The bottom tray only does envelope, plain paper. It's like the 4 basic settings is what the bottom tray does. Sister wants to buy shirts, but beginning, should she buy laser material or inkjet printer? Oh, she wants to try shirts. That's up to her. Like they have different ones. So for I'm not one for the Jet Pro 3G one. I don't like the laser prints. They crack. I personally, in my experience with them, but again, that's my personal preference. A lot of people in the flea market here, they use laser, because when people want memorial shirts and they want frigid 50, of the little box memorial shirts, you can't print them out fast with an inkjet, and inkjet's always going to take longer. So they have laser printers because it's going to print faster. I, however, don't like the quality. Because a lot of people use laser printers, it's one of the reasons why it gets a bad rep as far as them cracking, because they're talking about laser ones. The inkjet ones don't crack like laser ones. I have to put something underneath this heat press because it keeps scratching up. The reason why I turned the camera over here, it wasn't enough. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all something real quick. But yeah, they both are able to make shirts. The major difference with a laser printer is if you get white toner, because you can put it on dark colors because it prints out white. I want to move this. So if you ever have an auto press printer, it's auto press because of the magnet. If it's off, the magnet will never engage. So because I need to move this, I want to close it. I have to turn it on Oh, wait. Even, can you plug in? Can you plug the heat press in, please? Can you hear me? Is he even in here? Even! Hold on. I'll get you in here. He's not even in here. Okay, so I have to turn it on just so that it locks in place. Now, I can lift it up and move it. Because if I just rotate it, it's going to keep scratching up my surface. And then I turn it off, and it's going to automatically pop up because that magnet cannot stay engaged if it's off. So that's something to know about auto presses. You can't store it, because people always ask, do you store your heat presses open or closed? Well, with an auto press, you have no choice but to store it open because it will not close on its own. When I need to transport this, I have to close it, and I run big zip ties from here through the handle so that we can transport it. But it does not close when it's off. I gotta put a plexiglass over this so that when we move it. Yes, she can use your workforce. Some people prefer to store them closed because of safety issues and things like that. It actually doesn't matter. I know several people that store theirs closed, just so that it's not popped up all the time. It really does not do anything to it because it's not on. Some people will say because of like the pad, but that part doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if you store it open or closed. But you can't close it when it comes to an auto press. Will I have to convert the printer? If so, I'll need cartridges too. No, so remember, you were supposed to get, I mean, if you want, I can convert it and then ship it because I'm pretty sure people will probably want to see the process again. But remember, I was going to send you the one that we had already converted. So even if you rather do it yourself, we're still sending you a set of cartridges, a set of chips, and all 4 papers. So that's a part of it. So you'll get the printer, the ink. You'll get basically a full setup. So you'll get the printer. We're putting the ink inside, the cartridges, the chips, and the paper inside. So you're getting literally all of that. Now, if you want me to set it up on live, I can do that and just ship it to you ready to go, or you can do it yourself. Or you can always get it and we can do a live video while you set it up. It's up to you. Let me know what you want me to do. But you're going to get everything. You're going to get your first full setup. I don't know. I'll go back to the design, go back to setup, touch, then send to cut, then perfect. I have a Cameo for 12-inch. I'm not sure then. That makes sense with the laser printer. Can you convert a laser printer to do sublimation with white inks? No. So the white ink, there are printers where they have, somehow they put sublimation ink as a laser one, but it'll never be white. There is no such thing. There's never going to be a such thing as a white sublimation ink because it gases off. You can't gas off white ink. But there is a company, I forget which one it is, that has a sublimation set of toner cartridges where you can literally go from sublimation back to laser, but I can't remember which one it is. But no, there is no white ink. There's never going to be a white sublimation ink. Give it up, y'all. There's no easy way to do sublimation on dark other than cutting vinyl. Sublimation was meant for white. Although you can do it on light colors, sublimation technically was meant to be done on white. Miss Cheryl is on, but I have vowed to do DTV this week. I said I finally got it out of the packaging. So I said I am going to do, I literally just opened the package Thursday. I think it was Thursday I opened it. So I said I vowed to do the DTV this week. I gotta find me a way to store my paper in here. We have like a little shelf in the other room, but I don't have anything in here to store all of my sublimation paper on. What the heck is this? Oh, that thick behind vinyl. Okay, cool. Thanks. You can set it up. You would do it much better. I mean, of course, I'll do it better with the demo. But I think, it's good to kind of know how to set it up yourself. And you can always get on live and get used to being on camera and stuff. But it's okay. I'll set it up. I wasn't going to let you be by yourself for setting it up. We were going to do it together. All right. Everything is now officially off of my floor. I can sweep and mop, although I sat here picking up all this big stuff and I could have just swept it all up. Actually, here's this stuff here. When Even comes back, we have to put this on top of my surface. That way the heat press doesn't mess it up. So at some point here, we'll put this on top of my desk. Oh, I did leave this mask here. We missed it. This is the mask that I made this weekend. It looks so different on that camera compared to this one. There's actually teal in here, but it doesn't look like it on that monitor. DTV. Okay. DTV is Caesar's version of printable transfers for darks. Good morning. Oh, another Angel Franco. How are you? So it is Caesar's version of, this is regular paper, printable transfer for dark shirts. So Caesar makes color print, which is simply white vinyl. And you use an eco-solvent printer, whether it is converted or a true one, and you can do this. This has to be printed from an eco-solvent printer. Although some people say they can do it from a dye printer. I don't know. But this is the only, so they have a printable vinyl, but this is for eco-solvent, solvent, or latex printers. They came out with their version of basically Jet Pro 3G. That's all it is. It is Jet Pro 3G. There's a couple different ones. FortiFlex has one, which I got a sheet of theirs. I have no idea what I did with it, and they gave it to me. So I'm probably going to have to just go and order some because Love had some, and I used it pretty good as far as like the feel and stuff of it. And I know FortiFlex has that brand. I forget the name of it, but they have one that's actually like, it's supposed to be like a vinyl. So with the DTV, this is actually good vinyl. I need to cut maroon out. So I'm going to keep this. Where did my rubber bands go? Oh, don't store it this way. Because I plan to put this on my mat, this is the worst way to store this. Actually, wait. No, I'm tripping. This is the right way. I was bugging because when I put it down, it won't roll back. Okay. So it's their version of that where it can be put in any printer. Whether you use an inkjet, not an inkjet, any inkjet printer, whether it's dye ink or pigment ink. And all it is, it's a sheet like this. The backing part is just so that you can cut it and it doesn't cut all the way through. You print on this side, right side up. You don't mirror it. So you just put it down and you print it. You do a print and cut with it. And then you'll weed it. They have a masking. I was told their masking sucks. So I have she sent me their masking, the TTD one, but I also have another masking that I got from FortiFlex. So I'm going to see which one works better, like if it is an issue. Because with Jet Pro 3G, there's technically no real masking, like if you have small pieces to pick it up. So this is supposed to be the answer to that, where you can cut it, you can mask it the same way that you would do their easy print, and then put it on your shirt. So this is to put designs on colored and or cotton shirts using your regular home printer. So it's direct to vinyl, which is the dumbest name ever. I'm sorry, Caesar. I know it's so harsh to say dumb. I'm sorry. It's your product. I'm not going to call it dumb. Y'all thought about it long and hard. It's what you chose to name it. I have to stop that. These are my personal opinions. Like, this is just like, I'm just expressing my natural feeling about it. So they call it direct to vinyl. And people start to think that it's kind of like direct to film. where you just print it and you can just press it. You can't. You still have to have a cutting machine for this. This is, and so that's what people think, that it's like this brand new age thing because they're saying direct to vinyl. It's not like you print to this and only where you print at is going to stick to your shirt. You still have to have a cutting machine and do it as a print and cut if you want it contoured. If not, you're going to press the whole thing and it's just going to be one big box. So it's a silly name to me to call it direct to vinyl, because why didn't you call this direct to vinyl? So I feel like they were playing on, as they would say, playing on my top with saying that because of the whole DTV, DTG thing. But it's really not, because you've had this for a long time. Why is this not called direct to vinyl? It's Caesar Color Print, Easy Caesar Color Print PU. But because you create a desktop version for a desktop home printer, you called it DTV. But it does the exact same thing as this one. So that's why I said that. I'm sorry. Those who might feel like, oh, yeah, that's some people company. They can call it what they want to call it. They can. I'm just saying, for me, it would seem like a very silly name because you already have several products that are printable products, but they were never called DTV. So I felt like, for me personally, this was playing on people's intelligence. I'm sorry. That's just me. This is why I'll probably never get sponsorship deals, because I'm too honest, but this seemed like it was playing on people's emotions or playing on their intelligence with that name, because you still have to cut it. You still have to weed it. So it's not a process that is a direct process. Professor, do you sell EcoSolvent ink and empty cartridges for the Epson Sure? No, we don't sell any cartridges for the wide format printers. I don't sell anything I cannot test. Never have, never will. We don't have the space for a big one. I mean, I could technically get them and send them out, just like we have. My husband just said that he's like, when are you gonna send out these sawgrass? We ordered some sample sawgrass ones to test them out, to send them to people, and I haven't done it yet. But I don't sell anything I haven't tested. We did have, we could have EcoSolvent ink if we wanted. I didn't want to have to buy another Epson printer. That's one thing that I do want to test that myself, because I wish I could show it with an EcoTank printer and a Workforce, but that man that I'm married to will not let me buy another printer for something that I'm not going to use it. Like, let's say if it doesn't work, like, I'm not going to use that printer at all. We have a Roland that is a true EcoSolvent. I don't need it. To me, doing EcoSolvent prints isn't like this, like, new age type, like, oh my God type deal. I didn't get my EcoSolvent printer to print a lot of shirt or fabric transfers. I got mine for stickers and decals. You can't print true vinyl stickers with a converted EcoSolvent printer. So we don't sell any inks for it. Now, people over there at the Blank Spot, they have EcoVibes. They've done testing. They have a 15,000, I think, is the printer that they use for theirs. I think it's a 15,000, I think. So they have EcoVibes. So they have EcoSolvent ink. But I tried it twice in a Canon printer because it's not like sublimation. It doesn't require a specific type of printer. A dye-based printer is going to be best, but it doesn't require a heat-free printer. Heat is actually good for EcoSolvent. So I tried it on a Canon, but someone even told me that the original Canon print heads suck, and you have to order a replacement print head. I just haven't researched it and I haven't ordered it yet to switch it out. But at some point, I will switch out the Canon print head and go back and try those Canons again. I have learned a lot. Thank you so much for teaching us and answering any questions. You are very welcome. I'm good watching you while I'm working. I'm so glad you came on TikTok. You are very welcome. Someone said, check my messages on what? TikTok, on Facebook, on email. Check my messages where? So Eco is only for stickers and banners. Banners you can do because that's just regular paper. Well, if you're gonna do it on regular paper, you can do it. If you're doing like a backdrop banner, like on the vinyl, you cannot use a converted one. It has to be a true eco solvent printer. So my Roland, or if you get like a Mimaki, whatever it is, you get it's a couple other ones. Those you print to vinyl. They have an Epson one. There's a Roland one. There's a couple different ones. You print directly to adhesive vinyl. You can print directly to canvases. You can print directly to like PVC vinyl, like for backdrop banners. If you're just doing like a paper banner, because I've done that one with my pigment ink printer on paper. It's just regular ink, so you can print on paper. But for these, you cannot do it with a converted printer. It has to be a true eco solvent. The cheapest eco solvent is a Roland BN20A. It's going to cost you about $6,000. I'm on your site now trying to order the color chart. I see you also have something called skin tone color charts. Are these colors already on? No, they're not. Those are special ones. SA, well, it was Silaholics Anonymous. That was our original. Actually, thank you. I didn't change the name of that, but SA was, because that's what I was known as, Silaholics Anonymous. The Roland printer cuts. Yes, it's a printer and a cutter. So it prints and it cuts. It's slow. It is an amazing printer. Amazing printer. I got mine for, like I said, if I'm cutting stickers or if I'm doing yard signs on adhesive vinyl, so I can put it on Coroplast. I can do full color cheer signs. I can do my big print and cuts. That's what I got mine for. It's amazing. Amazing as a printer. It's slow as molasses as a cutter. Okay, on TikTok. Oh, well, I can't check that no time soon. Printing first, actual print on 7210 sublimation. Wish me luck. Woohoo! Let me know how it turns out. How do you feel about heat transfer paper for small businesses who can't afford to go big? It's amazing. Everyone does. Okay. This is a conversation that me and one of I was having with someone. Who was that? Who was I having a conversation with? Oh, I don't know, because we said regular schmegler, and now we said that with one person. You have some people who just want a shirt. Oh no, I was on with Blow Prince, her too. Some people just want a shirt, like a memorial shirt, something for a birthday. Where's my niece's birthday shirt? I made plenty of money. Ain't nobody complaining about this. I can see if you were creating a brand and so there's a difference between people saying, oh, it's about my brand. That means you as a company, compared to you having a clothing line, a clothing brand. If you were trying to create like your version of like Nike, right? Like you want it to be everyday, not like a customized shirt, like an everyday type brand. You're going to want to use good shirts. You want to use like your DTF, like Imperfectly Qualified. That is a brand. So she, would never use printable things for that because it's a clothing brand. It's a line of shirts and sweatsuits. You want to get quality things for stuff like that. Or a little birthday shirt. Now, we wear ours religiously, child. We go to sleep in these. I'm going to the grocery store in these. I wear it just for the hell of it. It's a lazy day, even when it's not a lazy day. My niece is now 8, but baby, she has been 6 in my life for the past 2 years because I have worn this shirt on multiple occasions because it's cute. I mean, I did a really nice job with this design and everything. So I wear this. My mama wear her. Actually, my mama just had on hers last weekend. To be honest, I made plenty of money. Still sell these. It's a inexpensive way to make shirts, to make customized shirts. It's a print and cut. Is it meant to be this exclusive, luxurious? Hell no. It's meant to be a cheap ass shirt. They want to pay $12. Okay, here go your $12 shirt or $15 shirt. Like everything don't have to be when you're trying to make money doing a $20 shirt, a $30 shirt, you want to do all overs thinking, okay, well, I can sell an all over shirt for $40, but you also doing all over work. Well, you, especially if you don't have a big printer where you can print it and a big press where you can press it one time. You pressing in sections all this time to do one shirt. Well, while you over there doing that one shirt, baby, I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna make these shirts with this Jet Pro 3G, and I'm gonna go ahead and knock out a whole bunch of them, and I'm gonna make a whole bunch of coins while you still work on that $40 shirt. Like, and then the profit margin for it based off of material and time. Go ahead, have at it. Everything that has a high price or high ticket price to it, like you price it this, that don't mean you profit and all that. That's a lot of work. Like it takes some more time. I make good money. This right here. Okay? Damn good money. Making birthday shirts, baby shower shirts, retirement shirts, bridal party shirts, shirts for parks, stuff for my cheerleaders, parent shirts for competition. Hell, just because shirts, I did one for a family where it was like king, queen, and all them darn cheering, the encore, the remix, the this, the that, all with some Jet Pro 3G when they wanted full on color. I use Jet Pro 3G. This is a white shirt. I don't care if it's a white shirt, a color shirt. I'm using Jet Pro 3G. I'm going to go ahead and hook up that print cut. I got 6 cameos for a reason. I'm going to print a bunch of them out, put them on there. I like the 2 because I can just hit repeat job on that sucker. If I'm doing a lot of these, the 3 comes in handy because I can hit repeat job. Other than that, I don't like the 3. I'm going to do these all day, every day. Little quick, little $15 shirt, $12 shirt. Some people sell it for $10. That's what you choose to do, depending on how much detailing is in it. And sell that sucker. This worked fine. Ain't nobody complaining about this. They might say, okay, some people may not like the fit. You ain't wearing it every day. It ain't true. I mean, now they want a work shirt. They don't want this. Maybe you have to look into other options because they're going to wear it every day or every other day or every week because they wear it to work. Maybe they don't want this. But I've actually even sold work shirts. My stepdad has an air conditioning company. Right on the back. Keep it moving, shorty. This makes me plenty of money. Plenty of money. Exactly. Cha-ching, and with the tongue. Cha-ching. Baby. It's amazing. Jet Pro paper is the best. Yes, it is. So yeah, I love it. Go for it. Make your money, honey. Loose my money, honey. Hey, gigolo, gigolo, jig. I'm from Miami, so I like twerk music. Did you say that eco was the only way to do stickers? I missed what you said. No. Vinyl stickers and decals. They're sticker paper, but that's not vinyl. Like just a regular sticker paper you buy in the store, it's a paper. It'll rip and all that stuff. That's vinyl. That will never leave a paper backing. Can you use the roll-in for show vendor banners? How big of a print? It's only, so again, depends on how you're trying to print your banner. If you're trying to do it like on vinyl, yes, you can. It is advertised as a 20-inch printer, but that means it can take 20-inch media, but you have to have, the clamps on there so you can't print. So about the widest is really about 18.75. I typically just kind of say everything at like 18.5. They say it's supposed to be 19, but to me, every time I do 19, it tells me it's outside of my print media. So like 18 and a half, 18.75 is as wide as you can print, but you can print as long as you want. There are several people that print it in sections and then they piece them together. What printable vinyl do I use? For stickers, I have Orajet, and then I have one that's a thicker one. It's a 6 mil. It's like a no name. It's Economy Signs. It's their brand. But my is it 1 mil or 3 mil? 1 mil is Orajet. There's a bunch of distributors have it. Nina, I don't know if they have like their own website. You can get it on Amazon. I get mine from what's this place here? Florida Flex, because they sell it. So there's a bunch of places. It's just one brand. It's called Jet Pro Opaque, or Jet Pro 3G or Jet 3G Opaque. It's all the same. And there's a lot of different distributors that basically just buy it in bulk and then they resell it out. Nina is the parent company of it. So a lot of people just sell it. It's not going to be better or worse from any like one company to the next because it's all the same. Hey, Teresa. Yay, way to go on the Sawgrass ink. Almost forgot. Wait, almost brought from Sawgrass this weekend. I'll wait. I mean, if you want to test it, I need to actually put that out. I need to send it. There were a few people I just got to try and go through my messages. There were a few people that said they wanted to test it out. I think we brought maybe 3 sets, one for the old printers and one for the newer printers. So we just have to have someone to try it out because my printer, even though my printer may not even still be under warranty. I've never turned my Sawgrass on, but I purchased it over a year ago. So it might be out of warranty now, even though I've never actually used it. It literally still has the blue tape on it. If it technically is still out of warranty based off of when I purchased it, I might keep one for myself and use it in here. But my printer was still under warranty. So they recommend that you don't use third-party cartridges until it's out of its warranty in case you have to send it back. So it'll probably be a while though. Don't wait for me. I'm telling you, don't, unless you want to try out these ones I have. And if you're outside of your warranty, you want to try it, you can try it. But don't wait for me. It ain't like it's gonna be here next week. It'll be a while before that even get here, baby. Because I don't just one person tries it and it's like, oh, okay, it works. No. The stipulation, whoever gets it is going to be they have a list of types of prints. You have to be willing to do the wash cycle so many times and all of that. Because I can't do it myself, I would want whoever's going to get it to do the testing the way that I would. So it's going to be if it's for a shirt, just test washing it and seeing all of that stuff. It's sublimation ink, so it should not rinse out. But that, you have to be willing to press it to polyester, to hard substrates, of course, printing it with, honestly speaking, sublimation paper. So there's a whole list of requirements for whoever gets. I'm not just giving the ink and you're not going to do the things that because it's for research for me. So I just have to finish putting all that stuff together. I just haven't had a chance to, but it will go through testing before I ever even advertise it on my website. I don't play that. I have some lines, but probably the print settings because nozzle check is fine. So when you say lines, did you set it to plain paper, bright white, set to high? Did you get a paper mismatch? If you did, it probably reverted back to the old settings. And now those printers, they do somewhat they have I'm not sure if the lines look like this. Let me see. Can you see? Are they like that? That won't show up when you press it to fabric. If that's what you mean, that won't show up. Oh, you did standard. No, standard will give you banding lines. It must be on high. Follow my video. Click get off of here or go to a different one. Click the link in the bio, go to my link tree, or just go to YouTube and type in, honestly speaking, sublimation settings. Follow the video verbatim. Except for density. I think I have, density you have to play around with. You can do -5 to -10. So go watch the video. Look, it is 12. I'm a whole hour past when I started getting off of here. She says, okay, bye. Yes, go watch the video. It gives you step by step, even gives you a visual. I have the screenshot. I took screenshots and put them on the screen where they were big. You didn't have to look at the little one. Girl, I put a lot of work in that video. I love Silhouette. Just asking how you feel about GIMP. I don't use GIMP at all. It's not, GIMP is great. I mean, I'm not going to say it's great, but if you choose to use it because it's free, I'm going to tell y'all this now. It is very hard for me to go back to a lot of these like GIMP, Inkscape. They work great for some people. I have a preference on what I use. So when you're asking me, I'm going to always say the things that I prefer first. I'm not here to go and like do all of the research and give you like a breakdown of every single one, like every single program. Some people love Affinity. I tried it, and for my standards and what Shakita Zetranice, Lavelle Pericles, the professor likes, Affinity just doesn't float my boat. It don't tickle my fancy. So I'm never going to be, I mention it as it's an option. Am I going to teach it? Am I going to be able to give you an opinion, a review, or anything on it? No, because I am an Adobe girl. I have a preference for Adobe products and Silhouette. I have a preference for Silhouette over, even though I paid all this money for a solo, than a solo. I don't think that I'm going to invest a lot of time into learning like the Juliet software. I'll probably still design in Silhouette and then use that for cutting if I don't want the Juliet. I want the Romeo. If I'm going to get it, I want that one as a 24-inch cutter. The Juliet, it serves no purpose for me to get it. I have 6 12-inch cutters. It's not that damn game changing. It's just going to cut, okay? So I don't really have a need for the Juliet. I'm not rushing out. Now, if it ever got sent to me, I will gladly go and I will use it and all that stuff. So Solo wasn't sent to me. So I really had no urgency, no sense of urgency to use it because it wasn't like it was sponsored. It wasn't sent to me. I purchased it with my own money. It'll sit there until I decide to do a video with it. Same thing whenever I get, any of the other ones. But anything program-wise, machine-wise, I can only let you use. Ask me now, even about lighting or cameras or light boxes. I did DIYs. I did the whole DIY thing. And at the time, before when I had to kind of penny pinch, I did the DIY. Does it work? Yeah, but was it the greatest? No, I had to do too many modifications. You had to do this, do that, move this around. Now, you could not pay me to try and DIY a light box. I'm going to get what I need. I used to be very cheap when it came to ring lights. Yeah, these ring lights were expensive, but baby, I would not trade it for nothing in the world. So it really is hard for me to now recommend things for a beginner or something that is budget conscious. I ain't your budget conscious person. I'm going to tell you that. I've said it before. I'm not the budget conscious person because I've been in this so long. If you want startup, there's a lot of YouTubers that are just starting up and they're doing a lot of DIY stuff. If you notice, I don't do a lot of run out to the Dollar Tree, get this. Oh, this is a hack for this, whether it's sublimation or just any other crafting. And there's some people that will go and they're going to do a balloon column because they're going to go to the Dollar Tree and they're going to get a broomstick and a styrofoam and they're going to glue it in there and do all this stuff. Harpo, anybody got time for that? Okay. Hell, I don't even have time for the ones where you make the stands for a balloon out of PVC pipe and you get the elbows. I did that. It was annoying as hell. Yeah, was it the cheaper way? Yep. Did it blow over? Hell yeah. So I don't recommend, so now it's like, okay, you want to do it, you can still use PVC. Galvanized pipe is better, but you can use PVC. But my recommendation would be to pay for good sturdy wood, get the plate, get the one little adapter so you can screw it in, glue that to your PVC pipe so you can screw that in and screw it out. Is it cost more to do that setup? Yes, but it's going to be a lot sturdier to do that setup, especially if you're using the galvanized piping. I can't really do a lot of the hacks. I've been there, done that. It's like if you come to me, I'm gonna give you you're kind of okay. If this is beginner and this is kind of like okay, you're serious about it. You got to come to me when you're about here. You're not looking to do a bunch of okay, I want to save money because it's gonna cost you time. I can't help you with that. When it comes to cameras, I went through a lot of cameras. Are there some cheaper cameras? Yeah. Your quality gonna look like. I go back and look at some videos. I'm like, God damn, what the hell? At the time, yeah, it's to get started. You're just gonna go out there. Is it gonna be the best quality? No. If you're looking for best quality, you can't ask me for nothing cheap. You can't ask me for nothing free. Silhouette Studio is probably the only thing I can say that it's free and it's pretty decent. Is it the greatest? No, because hell, it's shut down on me sometimes. There are limitations, but it's one where I'm like, this is like from beginner to even if you're kind of going through a lot of like jobs and stuff, Silhouette Studio can be very, very, very beneficial to you. Now, there are things that are going to be a lot easier in Illustrator because it does things automatically for you. Right now, people keep asking me, I don't know where this trend coming from. I don't know when it became this big thing, but I've been getting a lot of requests about how to make seamless patterns. Can you do it in Silhouette Studio? Yes, you can. Is it more steps? Yeah. A few years ago, Illustrator created this thing where it's set for patterns. You put your thing there, it's going to automatically mirror it to the end where it's the same one that starts on this side. It's an amazing feature. Click and go. But you got to learn how to use Illustrator. You got to pay for Illustrator either annually or monthly. Silhouette Studio is absolutely free. So when I compare it to some of the others, Silhouette Studio, you can print to any size. Inkscape, you got to play around with it. You can't do 13 by 19. You got to do 12.75 by 18.75 to get to print to 13 by 19 paper. You can never print a banner. You can't save and all that. I can do all of that. I've printed for a 10-foot banner, or I've set up for a 10-foot banner in Silhouette. I've printed a banner straight to my Roland from Silhouette. So there's a lot of benefits to it. But all that other hack stuff, I can't help you with. How do you change the ink printer? Because I can't get it. You can't get it what? Open all the way? How do you change the ink printer? Are you how do you change the ink in the printer? Are you changing to Honesty Speaking Sublimation? Honesty Speaking Sublimation ink? If you are, I can help you. If you're not, I can't help you. I can't tell you how to do to get somebody else product in there. No, we can't do that. I mean, I'm here to help, but mom ain't raised no fool. Now, if you're gonna ask me, because some people ask me directly, I had someone say, "Can you show me how to get this ink out to put this ink in?" And this ink that they were trying to put in wasn't mine. Excuse me? You gonna ask me directly how to put somebody else ink, knowing I sell ink. If you don't go ask them people, and if they can't answer your question, I suggest you not use their ink then. Because like I said, you ain't gonna find too many people that's gonna give you the information like I give you. Like they really take your money, they don't give a damn. And really with EcoTank printers, it's not really easy to take it out. Epson has gotten very smart. The 2720, the 2700, the 2720 and the 2700 is another one that they had, which was the same name. I didn't understand it. And then you had the 2800 and the 2803. Those particular, no, the 2800, I think. It was one of them. No, yeah. So the 2803, because that's the other one that we have. You open it at the top and there is no cage over it. You just have to unscrew the front. You have to lift up the whole thing. Be very careful because if it comes out, then it's going to mess up it's going to say your scanner's messed up. And so you have to then draw it out. But when you're doing that, you're also introducing air into the line. So it's not this easy wham, bam, thank you, ma'am thing to kind of like switch out the inks. The newer ones have this cage over it and it's not easy to get to. You got to unscrew a lot of stuff, like the plate over it, and you have to also unscrew this piece in the front to get to it. So it really just depends on how it's set up. But if you want to change out the inks, just let it go down and just put new ink on top. How do you save your files to your computer in an organized manner? Do you use a Google Drive or Dropbox folder by subject? I'm torn between Google and Dropbox or anything else. I know been for you to open. Waiting for you to open. I have the 5. Oh yeah, I opened it yet. I'm using my Epson in the meantime. So for yours, I actually have I have a Google Drive. I have a OneDrive. And I have a my Dropbox, I think I dropped. I didn't need the Dropbox because I use Google Drive. And I paid for 2 terabytes, 4 terabytes of space with my Google one. So I got rid of my Dropbox one. I use what's called a WD My Cloud. It's it's my own personal cloud. So I can go home and I can still access my files because it's a WD My Cloud home. Um, and that's why I save things to. Is it kind of a good thing to organize your files? Yes. You'll have to really think about how you want to organize it. If you're trying to put something like, let's say, all of your templates, you might put it in a file. If it's like images, there's certain images that can be used for Christmas. It can be used for like, maybe if you have like things that are specific to Christmas, you may want to put like elements like PNGs in those. If you're designing a file, like you're designing how to organize that, that's up to you. If you want to create a folder for each order, if you want to just create a folder where all your orders go in and you're going to be very specific. I do a lot of searching. So for my files, I don't have any type of organization for it. I just I make long titles. So when I'm saving my files, I will literally write out the entire thing, like da 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 with white background, 12 by 12. That way, when I go to search it, I can search for it because every computer has a search function. So I don't necessarily worry about like organizing those by like, but if it's like, let's say if I'm doing memorials for someone, I try to put all of that in one folder. Like if it's a lot of stuff for one person, or if I have like all of their pictures, they send me their pictures for a graduation yard sign. Those I try and keep in one file. But as far as like just saving stuff, I create long titles and I just search for them. I use the natural search things on a computer. I do try and put everything in one location. So you can right click and you can sort. So I'll group by type. I sort. Sometimes I will sort by name because it's easier for me to find it if I kind of know, but I don't remember exactly what it was. I'll sort by name. Sometimes it's easy for me to sort by date. So I know that if it's something I just created, I'm going to put it by date. I'm going to look within the first couple of rows for the file. If it is something older, I can go to the older one. But I just kind of use the regular search things of my computer. But as far as like being able to easily pull when I'm designing, I do try to put things together for certain people, like their drafts and all of that. Certain elements, I try to save them now, not necessarily by like, well, these are for Memorial, these are for Christmas, these are glitters, these are this, these are that. I just normally store them based off of where I purchased them from. So I have a folder that says downloads Creative Fabrica, downloads Vector Stock, downloads designbundles.net, download Etsy, and I just kind of do it that way. Like there, you have to develop your own organization based off of how your brain works. How my brain works, my organization works for me. No, it's not like iCloud. Like you actually have an actual box that you purchase. It's not online, but it's a cloud. All clouds are basically the same, where it's sitting in the metaverse, and you just are able to easily access it no matter where. It's a cloud. It doesn't take up any of the space on your computer. I just purchased your color chart. There's so many. Yeah, I mean it's this. So there are 4 color charts and then 2 reference charts. So exactly what's on this. So there's a file that has all of them together. And then there's ones that are individual because I take those, print them out individually and put them on a piece of felt, or you can take the whole thing and put it on one big piece of fabric. That's up to you. But yes, there's 4 different ones and then reference charts. These don't have color codes. You just have to sample the colors. All right, I gotta go get a broom. All right, I got my broom, I got my Swiffer. Oh, that reminded me. Talking about like taking pictures and stuff. So I use for smaller things, I use well dang it, where did it go? Where the hell is my bag? Because it's not where it's supposed to be at. But I now use a We Are Memory Keeper shot box because it is a light box. And I like the way it's set up. It has a bunch of different backgrounds and stuff, right? So when people talk about like taking pictures of your products, you'll have a lot of people that will recommend, which again, in the beginning, I watched videos and they said to do that. And I tried it where you take the foam board, you get like contact paper, and you'll put it on there. Like I did that one. I spray painted contact paper. I spray painted or put contact paper. I spray painted and I put contact paper on the project boards because at least it gave you size. Like there's so many things that you can do. But if I had to do it like right now, they're expensive. But the replica surfaces would be the way to go. And if you can get the stand where you can roll it, put it close to a window or take it outside, because they are the way they're printed and they're more matte than they are shiny. A lot of the contact papers are glossy, so you end up getting that glare when you take pictures. And just learning about photography, it really isn't a good thing to have a super shiny backdrop. When they're doing it, they're more like even the background and stuff that they use, a lot of them are more of a matte color, especially since they a lot of times do flash photography. They have the flash up there, or they're going to have light boxes and things like that. If it was super shiny, it's going to cast a shadow. And some people, of course, can remove the shadow on the editing room floor when they go into Lightroom or Photoshop. They can kind of mask those off and remove them. But matte backgrounds are going to be your best friend because that's one less thing you have to worry about as far as getting a shine out when you take the picture or this weird glare. So I'm not one, that does video content anymore about using what's some things called? Contact paper. Now, I have made my own using my Roland, and I printed on matte vinyl. I didn't print it on glossy. I printed on printable matte vinyl for a background. So I've done that. We're going to offer that service soon to where we can make you backgrounds where you can either just print it and you can put it on your phone board, or we can put it on PVC. Same thing I make yard signs with. Not yard signs. I make cheer signs with. We can put it on here where it's a harder surface for you. And it's not, but these you have to really store. You can't fold these up. So we're going to actually offer that service where we're putting together HS Ink prints. Now, that's one of the services that we're going to offer for those who want to have backgrounds, either custom ones. You can create a background that has, let's say if it's like a wood background. You know how some of you guys forget to watermark your pictures? Well, if you go and you have a background printed, so let's say it's wood or it's marble, and you already have your business logo like in the corner somewhere, all you gotta do is take a picture. When you take the picture, guess what's already on there? Your watermark. You don't have to do 2 steps. So it's little things like that that we're implementing for HS Ink prints, but I don't Have I done it? Yes. And because I've done it, and then I have upgraded and I've seen the difference in using something that's not shiny and the difference in the quality, it's very hard for me to recommend the DIY methods of saying just go get contact paper for a background, because I know how that shows up when you take a picture and you get glares. So that's just another example of one of those things where you'll see a lot of videos and, it seems like, yes, this is the greatest thing ever. But then the work that it takes sometimes, and then, not even just the work to create it, the work afterwards, trying to get good angles, trying to avoid the glare, trying to avoid shadows, and how you move there, makeshift lighting situations. Man, I've been there, done that. I've been doing this for a really, really, really long time. And so then some may say, well, we all got to start somewhere. You did, whatever. And I'm like, yes, I did have to start somewhere. But now I'm at a point to where they always say, when you know better, you do better. You may not have to learn, like, to get to know better from your own experiences. So if somebody who's been there, done that, said, hey, this is my experience, this is, and get something that's better, or do I want to find out for myself? And you're more than welcome to, you can do that, because it might be something that's within your budget and you may be okay with the extra work. It might be extra time, but you have the extra time. I'm at a point now where I don't have, well, it may not seem like, because I'm sitting here wasting 2 hours talking to y'all, but when I'm doing work, I ain't got extra time. Like, we're waiting because one of our closets, I'm going to set the lighting up in there, and that will be where we take pictures of big items. Like, I ain't got time to be trying to go and figure out if I'm trying to take pictures at night. So we're waiting, and then one of the closets, like, we're waiting to set that up, but one of the closets will be to where I can go. There's a hanger back there. I'm already going to have my lights on. I'm going to click on the light. I'll be able to change out my backgrounds, because I'm going to get like a little mini version of like the things that the photographers have that can roll up. And if I don't know if that one's actually going to fit, if they have one that's going to fit that size. If not, we're going to have a bunch of these panels that I can put up. I'm actually working on a prototype that's magnetic. So I'll put it up. I'll have a little hook. I can hang my shirt or put my mannequin there, take the picture in the closet, take it from different angles, and keep it moving, shawty. I'd rather have a dedicated photo closet for bigger items, because it's just going to make my life easier when it comes to taking pictures. Because when I finish an order, when I have to go move this over here, move that over here, let me try and do this to take a picture and do it. And then like when I have to move stuff and put extra stuff, now who in the hell going to put this stuff back? So I've learned over time that for certain things, it's better for it to be automated. I'm at a point in business now where things are going to be automated. It's going to be really hard for you guys to ask me stuff as, oh, I'm a beginner, I'm just starting, I don't want to spend a lot of money. I can't help you. I'm for certain things, I can somewhat help for beginners, but even as a beginner, I'm going to tell you, it's like, you can do this, but this might be a better option if you can go and save up a few coins or get them little by little. This is going to be a better option. I can't go back to the DIY of everything. Like, I just can't. I can't do the whole DIY stuff. Thank you for everything. Purchasing through you is worth it. Definitely get the support and honesty. Now that I just purchased the color chart, I have to learn how to go in and adjust my colors, especially while I'm using Printer Jacks ink. Everything is coming out with okay. So it's not okay. That's not what color charts are for. Color charts are not to adjust your colors based off of the. If you already have something that is filled with color, color charts are for when you are designing. It's for when you are designing and you are filling in the colors. If you are going in and you're filling in colors for certain things, that's where color charts come in. If it was already created, you purchase something from Etsy, design bundles, and it's already a PNG, color charts are not going to help for that. It's not going to be something where you're adjusting your print settings. It is only for when you are actually designing and you're not really adjusting anything. You're still going to print it out, your regular print settings. But now because you have that color code, you know exactly what color code to put in there. But it's not going to be a matter of making any adjustments to your print settings or how things print, especially for pre-made designs. I need to get that because I design most of my own things. Okay, so let me go real quick. Let's go to screen share and let's flip y'all around. Okay, so all right. I have to wait for it to open. I gotta find my good color chart. Hold on. Okay, let's say I was printing from my 2720, right? I'm gonna print from my 2720, and I wanted to change this camo color right here. And I wanted to make it where it was basically customized. And I'm printing from my 2720. I want an actual gray color. So on here, let's say for whatever this teal color is here, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go to edit. Oh, come on. Why is select by color not? It was just working. Oh, I swear this thing gets on my nerves. Like, I don't understand. Like, after a while with this version, things just stop working. I have no idea. Like, if I go now and I go select by color, it just doesn't show up. And it's so friggin' stupid. It drives me crazy. So I'm just going to close this out. Discard all. We're going to open it back up. If my image is printing orangey and it's somebody else's artwork, but the printout orangey for me and beige for others, with the issue be my ink. So it is not necessarily your ink. It is probably your printer. EcoTank printers use dye inks. You're going to have issues with red tones over things coming out kind of like orangish. Your grays are going to look more brownish than they do gray. That's just the downside of using an EcoTank printer. Your colors are going to be completely off. Doesn't matter which ink you're using, your colors will be off with using an EcoTank printer. Some people say, no, my colors are great. They don't have a knowledge base of colors and certain standards as far as like how colors are supposed to look. Certain things will come out absolutely amazing, like, and you really won't know because it depends on how that file was designed and how it was saved, like in which program, and whether it was saved or done in RGB or CMYK and different things like that. But how the inks are meant to print out, you will never get the same color as a Sawgrass printer, as even a Epson converted printer that was a pigment ink printer because the inks are different. So there's really no way around it. It's your printer. I have that issue sometimes too. That's why your husband won't let you buy another print. Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly why. That's exactly why. But let me tell you something. In the setup that we have now, we can't. When we get into our full-on warehouse, trust and believe, I will have every printer imaginable, because we will have a full-on teaching situation where people will come in and they're not going to sit. I probably won't use them for actually making things, but when people come in, and I can go and I can send a print to each one so that I can actually train and show this is this, this is that, and I'm explaining why you need certain things. I'll probably will have like every single printer imaginable in the actual academy and like the school once we open that up. Like what I really want, I want a room with nothing but printers. Like I want a printer room, and I can have it wall to ceiling to floor. I want wall to wall, ceiling to floor, all sorts of printers, like having HP printers, Canon printers, so I can show the different. And when I'm teaching students, like let's say they don't have an Epson printer. Epson printer works for me, but some people may be okay with having HP's Instant Ink. They may like Canons and stuff like that. What the heck is going on here? I want to be able to have all of those when I am teaching about chip bags and party favors and banners and all that stuff. So once we have like the full-on school, and I can have a dedicated room, oh, trust and believe, I'm going to have every printer imaginable. Okay, what the heck is going on here? It's taking forever. Okay, close program. I don't know what's going on. I'm definitely going to buy a workforce. Having the EcoTank 15,000 is a headache if you can't get proper colors and a quality print. A high resolution is more important to me than some of the other benefits of an EcoTank printer. Thank you for your knowledge today. And that is what's key right there. The benefits of an EcoTank is simply filling it. That's the only benefit to an EcoTank, is the ease of filling. But I don't have an issue with filling up cartridges, and that you don't, like for the newer printers, you don't have to buy chips. I mean, there are some headaches because with the newer ones, sometimes chips work, sometimes they don't. That's a headache, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just can't with EcoTank printers. All right, let's see. Why won't you open up, dude? Okay, now it's open. I was like, what the heck is going on? All right, come on. Okay, so file, open recent, camo. Hold on, it's my husband. Oh, okay, hold on. Sorry, had to answer my husband. He's asking me what I want for lunch. Okay, so I'm going to click on let's ungroup and then ungroup again. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. Okay, so if I want to change this to gray, I'm going to go over here to edit. I'm going to go select by color. Not only on media by fill, I'm going to select all of my oranges, and then I'm going to come over to my color palette. I'm going to click on advanced, and I'm going to go right here to the hex code. I'm going to go to my color chart, and it is telling me, let's see if I can read this on here. Where in the heck are my glasses? It is telling me that for this particular gray that I want, when it's printed out, I want this color gray. It is, Lord have mercy, Jesus, I cannot see that. Okay, I'm gonna have to open up my color chart. File, open. Like this is something technically I should have in my Silhouette library, so I don't have to keep doing this, but I don't. alert, which I might do right now. I think I'm actually going to put this in my Silhouette library. Oh, wait, you know what? I might have it over there already. I might have it in my library. I don't know. But what I'm looking for is, see, even on here, this is from an EcoTank print. Oh, do I have? Hold on, let me see if I can find the one that's from my Workforce print. You can see the difference in the color. This is from, okay. So TikTok is going to see this a lot clearer than you guys. Let me flip this around real quick. Okay. Same exact color charts. Color chart 2 from 2720, an EcoTank printer. Color chart 2. This is from my 7820. This is a pigment ink printer. Do you see the difference in those grays? So this is never going to give me a true gray. This is what the grays are supposed to look like. So for you guys, you see the difference? It's going to still look brownish, but this is from a Workforce printer. My grays are giving gray. If I go to this side, there's another set of gray. This is the 7820. This is the 7820. Look at this one. Wait, there we go. You're not going to get. So now for certain colors, if you look at them, let's just take a look at like the reference chart, right? Other than the browns and the grays, for the most part, those colors look somewhat the same, right? There's some slight differences like in the yellow. So like I said, some colors you won't see a major difference. Now we get down to that bottom part, you can see the differences in that gray strip and the bottom row of yellow. So all the other colors pretty much look, wait, wrong way. It's so weird doing it on here. Okay, wait, no. Okay, that way and this way. Okay, there we go. See, those colors pretty much look the same. There's a slight difference in this one. When you look at the bottom color yellows, it's a slight difference. If I go like this, those grays look different, but the colors next to that looks somewhat similar. The grays are different, but the colors next to it are somewhat the same. If I go to my media colors, those looks like, okay, so see the top, the green on this one versus the lime green on this one. They look different. My teals, which got to find them. Look at the color here for teals and the color here. It's different. So some colors are going to pretty much come out the same no matter which printer you use. But then there are other colors where it's just not going to give what it's supposed to give. Well, this kind of, so I'm going to try and find as close to gray as I can get on this thing. But it's really hard to get like a true gray with an EcoTank printer. All right, so okay, we're going to go with chart 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 from 5 from the bottom. All right. So on screen, as you can see, this looks totally different from both tumblers. But I said chart 2, row 2, 4 from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. I'm going to just make, if you have like, so I have printouts where I can see the numbers. Like I can see it without opening it up. And I will sometimes reference that one. Like I need to actually put the rolling one on the wall, and I can look at that one. And I won't have to open this up, but because I can't see it on the tumbler, I have to open this up. So I'm just going to sample 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. It's going to tell me right here that this is, that this is 839192. Well, if I zoom in right here, the hex code for this one was 839192. That's the color code. So on my camo, I'm going to select my orange. I'm going to go select by color. I'm going to select my orange, and I'm going to put right here that color code, which is actually already here. So it's going to change that automatically. If I wanted this one to be a purplish color. So, and again, I'm going to print from my 20, if I'm printing from my 2720 or like my 2800, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to look at my 2720, and the color purple that I want is going to be on chart 1. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4 in. So it's this one right here. I'm going to simply sample this one, which again, if I had a big chart, because I do recommend having this on your felt. I don't feel like going to go get my felt right now. So over here, I'm going to select whatever color that is. And in my color chart down here, I'm going to type in that color code, which is, hold on, I can't see it on that one, but I can probably see it on this one. It is 311B92. Which, let's see. Okay, yep, that was the same one because it didn't give me a new one. So that's what that code was. I didn't have to click, even though I sampled it. I wanted you to see that I'm just going to put the code in and it stayed the same. So that's the code. So if I come over here, 311B92. So I can see it, certain things you can't see it. Okay. So when I say if it's created, well, my camo one was not technically fully created by someone else. I actually added stuff to that one. So it was created by me, some of it, but this is it. So actually that's a good point. So when I say something was created by someone else, if it's flat, if it is a JPEG or a PNG, so it's a rasterized image, it's flat. If it's already a JPEG or a PNG, you can't change the colors on it. So thank you for that, because that was kind of, I didn't explain that part. I've explained it in other videos. If you take, look, I'm telling y'all, you can say I talk too much if you want, but when I say I break it down for you, I break it down for you. This right here, all of this is broken down. Differences in file formats, differences in colors, the mistakes that you may experience, if you're getting lines in your prints, if you're getting this, that, and the third, why your colors look a certain way on certain, like, when I tell you 6 days of almost everything that you can think of, and like questions that you see people ask in groups, giving you a full understanding. You take notes, you will be an expert in this, and you won't be reliant on groups as much. I mean, it's not saying that groups is a bad thing. I go into groups to be able to go and help, not that I really need all the information that's in there. Because sometimes you have to wait forever and you get 1,000 different like opinions and posts about what something is. So when I say I break down everything in this, everything is broken down in this seminar. Okay. It's already happened. I won't be doing it again anytime soon. You get the playbacks of it. Playbacks are just as great as you being there. Most people were so engulfed in the information. They get more from the playbacks, and they can stop, start, and write notes. I can't leave you time to write notes in the class. I got to keep it moving. But this right here breaks down everything. Okay. So if it is an SVG, so now I'm going to go and open up like an actual SVG file. Open. Let's see. Let's go to
Actually, let's just look up. Let's just go to I'm pretty sure I have an SVG saved here somewhere from someone. So I'm sorry. If it's a PNG or a JPEG, you cannot change the colors. But if it's an SVG or you can trace it, you can then change the colors. Let's see. Kindness and Love screen print file. Nope, that's something I created. Here, Toy Story logo. This is an SVG. So if I wanted to make this where it's going to be pink, because it's like for a girl, I can click on here and I can change the colors. So no matter what, but I never use Silhouette's colors. I'm always going to use a color chart. So anything where you can click on it and change colors, you can. But let's say you have something like somebody's picture. You can't change the color of their face. Here, let's open up Little Miss Independent's head. So this is flat. You can't just go in here and just change the color of it. You can trace this, but there's certain parts like her eyebrows will just blend together. So you can't just change that. So something that is flat like this, or if it's like a watercolor, if it is, like that image that's floating around everywhere, this, hold on, let me see, open. Where's that Be Blessed thingy? This right here. You could not change the colors of this file because you can't fill these in yourself. It's all solid. You can trace it to make it vectorized, but you still won't get all of these details to change, like her shadow color and all of that. Is there a way to technically change colors by using the colorize? Yes, but it's going to change everything. You can't just isolate one color like that. So that's what I mean by if somebody else designed it, if it's a PNG or a JPEG. Now, it can be a PNG or a JPEG, and if you are able to trace that to vectorize it where you can fill it in with color, then yes, you can change the color of things, but it has to be vectorized. Yes, I just said that. SVGs are vectorized. They are individual parts. That I just opened up this Toy Story one. So this was an SVG file. SVGs has everything where it's individual pieces and you're able to click on them and you're able to change the colors. But if it's already a JPEG, you cannot change the colors. If it's already a PNG, you cannot change the colors. And sorry if I was yelling in your ear. I was leaning over and my microphone is at full blast. And I was leaning over onto the desk. Use your settings. OMG, the difference. Really? See, I told you. And you don't have to use premium matte. It's going to waste a bunch of ink. As Zani Maya would say, I told you. I must say, I'm a little disappointed in you guys on TikTok. I've been on for 3 hours and all I have is 2,000 likes. I don't like that. Okay, now time to Swiffer. And then I'm doing all this. Monday is our short day. We do not stay in the office long on Mondays. When it's time to go get them cheerings, I am out of here. So I literally have an hour and a half left. No, 2 hours left. 3:30. we need to go get Zani Mani. And when we do that, I'm leaving too. Today I'm not. Oh, wait, do I have a 101 today? Ooh. I don't remember if I gotta go check my schedule. I might have to stay here. I might have a 101. Oh, no. I also have a pickup. Shoot, I have to stay here. I have a pickup coming today. Okay, this is a Monday where I'm gonna probably have to stay. But I'm not gonna stay too late. My mommy started a new job. My mom spent 25 years on a job and then made a big change. Her last day there was Friday. She started her new job today. So we're going to have her a celebratory dinner. So I won't stay too long here. But yep, I got to go to my mama. I still got to leave early because we're going to go and celebrate with my mama and her new job and hear all about it. I know I saw her post and she says first day and she had to sit in a big board meeting. So that was kind of crazy. So I can't wait to hear about her first day. And if I don't get home by the time she gets home, my kids are going to aggravate her and because they're going to want to know MJ woke up so he can give her a hug and tell her good luck on her first day. So they're going to ask a bunch of questions and then I'm going to not get it firsthand. And I want to hear it firsthand because I think the first time you tell a story, you're a little bit more excited about it and you don't leave out details. And I'm like the second or third person to hear about it, I'm going to lose out on some of the details. Story. So I got to make sure that I go home so that we can eat dinner and hear all about her first day on her new job. So don't be afraid. Let my mom be an example to not be afraid to start over. 25 years. My mom was technically eligible for retirement in 4. You would think that she would just finish out there. But when it's your time to go, it's time to go and move on to better things. And my mom switched jobs after 25 years. So those of you who are friends with Mama Sharon, make sure y'all go and make a post, probably in the group. She normally posts in the group. And tell her congratulations on her first day on her new journey. So for pigment ink, exact same settings. The only difference is if it's matte paper, premium matte, standard. If it's glossy paper, photo glossy, standard. Everything else stays the same. Adobe RGB 1.8, and you don't have to adjust your density. That's it. Where do you find the playback of what, love? All right, all Swiffered up. Wherever you're watching it at, it will be there. Or on my YouTube channel will be great because to make sure that you subscribe and I act, to help my monetization. So if you go watch it over on YouTube, that's a lot better. But everywhere where I'm streamed except TikTok, the playback will be there. I am streaming on Silaholics Anonymous and Honestly Speaking's YouTube channel. So either YouTube channel will work. right, any other questions from me? I'm done cleaning. I gotta figure out where I'm mad at myself because I didn't think about the fact that technically, like in my old space, only one wall was an exterior. Here, both of these walls are exterior. And actually, well, this one inside the closet. So when it comes to putting up my wall mounts, we have to drill into the concrete. I don't want to do that. So I'm kind of upset. I don't know how I'm going to put up my wall mounts on these walls because both of these walls are exterior walls and I can't use like those. It's not, that's all lightweight up there, but the cameras and stuff is heavier. So I don't know what I'm going to do for these. So they're going back in the box for now because I have no idea what I'm going to do about my wall mounts, but I need to figure out something because I got a whole bunch of them. I don't want to have to, like here, when I'm over here, because this is moving, my camera normally shakes. So I want it to, the goal was for it to be mounted and for it to come this way. I kind of want to mount one of them in the ceiling, but the way the camera is, it's going to be kind of weird. So it has to come out from the wall and then I can retract it back. So I got to figure out, well, this part. Yeah. So I use only Elgato. Everything I use, so this one has the name on it. My cameras, which Elgato just came out with some new face cams. I cannot wait to get it. So my cameras, well, this is an Elgato ring light. I like it because I'm finna blind y'all. I can adjust it from here to take it where it's not so bright because sometimes you'll need a lot of light. I can go all the way up, or I can control it on my phone or from the computer. I can control it. Ooh, look at that right there. Where it'll be very white, or I can make it more of a yellow tone, depending. So this kind of changes. It's not the one that changes colors, but the tones of this, as far as it being white light or yellow light, and the brightness of it can be adjusted either right on here and via the app where I can slide it. I can actually control all of my lights at one time. And this is an Elgato one. So I like it. It's low profile. And as you can see, my camera is also Elgato face cam. And they have a new one. Can't wait to get it. My mount is Elgato. The only thing that's not Elgato are my quick changes. These are the only things that are not. Like, so if I want to take this and I want to move it over here, I'll take this whole mount off. So I have desk mounts too. So it just it mounts onto the desk, but I don't have a lot of flat surfaces, so I could not use these. So I had to change to the wall mounts, but it's basically the same setup. Like I can take this and they're all universal. So I would take this off of here and I would take this one off and put this long stand. That's why I said I'll be able to retract it in and out from there. So I'll put this one on here. So only this little part will stick out, but the rest of it, I can move it in and out. And then there's like additional arms. So what's I going to do? Oh, this right here. If I wanted to move my ring light to this table, if I wanted to move this camera, I have quick mounts. Every camera I have, my phone is also a Elgato phone grip. My phone grip is on there. Every camera, it's on my ring light. It's on everything. Is this little piece right here. And then I have this on the top of every single mount I even have this, like if I wanted to just take everything to the other room, I don't have to like buy a setup for it. It's called a quick change. So I just take it, put it on there, wrong way. Well, it's not really no wrong way. I just don't like for it to face the knob. And I can quick change to any camera, any light, move my phone grip, all of that. So all of that is like that. So I have all Elgato, and I'm not sponsored at all. Wish I was, because this issue's expensive. Oh, I also have the small one. I didn't need the large one, although I want the large one just to have it. I also have an Elgato Stream Deck. So I can, when I'm using OBS, I don't have to like click anything. I kind of have everything programmed on here, and it's just push a button and my screens and my scenes change. So it's full control. So I have everything Elgato. Everything Elgato. My microphone, Elgato. A lot of people like Yetis. I like Elgato. All right. My husband's here with my lunch. I'm going to say sayonara to you good people. I clean my floors. That was the most important part. Now, some of this other junk that's there, I got to now put them back. So I put them in piles based off of where they go. So now I have to put them in their home. I have to figure out where I'm going to put my sublimation paper, like the extra ones. Because there's really, I don't want, I got to have a space, but it's so high. I got to find a way to organize it to where all of this extra paper that's like half packs, where to put those. So yeah. All right, y'all, I am out of here. Don't forget to, like, this is a lot of information. Now, if y'all don't show some love, let me at least go by the color chart. Go cop something from the website. Like, I just sat here and gave y'all 3 hours of amazing information that you would never, like, you got to pay good money for. So make sure y'all go to the website, cop something, cop a class, a color chart, a digital file, like, go run it up. Say thank you. We got $3 files on the site, so you got to spend like a lot, but go to the site, shop.hsinc365.com. Go to the site, run it up, get some stuff. Like, tell your girl thank you for all this wonderful knowledge, okay? All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible.